Minnow, didn't you have the horseshoes, the boots? He may have went AFK, I guess. I was under the impression Midgard had the boots of striding and or jumping. All right, man, it's been like a week. You have to have like 3 hours of sleep by now, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I guys got decent sleep today. Stayed up all night with the baby and woke up probably like 4 hours ago now.
Nice, nice.
Get some pretty good sleep.
That's good. Go ahead and kick some ass. I'm gonna try. I've been actually debating like all day switching out my level 2 spells because we're gonna be going from town to the Lizardman Cave. Hey Blaze. We're gonna be going from town to the Lizardman Cave, and so I don't think he's gonna throw something at us, but he might. Did we figure out if Minigard had the boots or if Solus had the boots?
Pretty sure Solus had them. Minigard.
What was that, Jersey?
Minigard can have him now.
Yeah, you certainly can.
Not wrong.
Yes, I do believe I can.
Solus is currently in possession of them right now, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Solace was practically begging for them last time.
Right.
So I basically just said, fuck it, might as well just hand it to who actually needs it. I would not be opposed to having them again because they are very useful.
Oh heck yeah, boots of jumping are crazy cray.
I believe they are boots of jumping and striding.
Does it increase your movement?
I
It
think
increases your movement if your movement speed is less than 20. Is less than 30.
Mm.
Uh-huh. Well, that's only one of us. All you other fast fuckers.
I don't mean to do it out. I mean, it's just natural.
Yo, Blaze, thanks for the sub, man. 2 months. Welcome on back, my guy. With tier 1 too.
So, out of us, who would be the most useful jumping boot with a lot more movement?
Well, everyone else is basically 30. You know, I'm 25, so I would only benefit from the movement. I've basically decided that I'm going to be utility and support since we have, you know, a giant mess of DPS between the 4 of you. I'm not going to be doing too much of jumping and unless unless it does more. I mean, it's nice. It'd be nice to have. I wouldn't say I need it.
It'd be decent on everyone.
Yeah, it's one of those all-around things, you know.
But I mean, I'm ranged, but I have crossbow expert, so like point blank is really an issue for you. So probably either Razor or Minigard would be the best candidate.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, anything you want.
I have wild shape now, so I don't need it.
Minigard it is.
Ooh, I like new campaigns. Yeah, ask me anything, man. By all means. I am always down to talk D&D.
Okay,
I love D&D.
So we are how many days from your deadline?
1.
One.
No, we have like another. We had like 2 any ads to get to the lizard folk, or roughly.
I thought we had one-ish or something like that.
I pretty sure it was like 2, maybe like 1.5 or something. So and it takes us like a day to get there, basically. So should be good if we just head out.
Out of character, because I don't know if this information has been shared or not, but there's a lot of shit going on in SaltMarsh right now. Last session, basically. Like, Krug
Okay.
might be in deep shit. There is a massive amount of tension.
That seems like
And-
Drazer's problem to me.
Well, what I'm saying is, apparently something's happening in the next few days or by the end of the Ennead, which is around the exact same time that we need to.
Which also somehow probably involves the fishy-eyed bug guy things. Remember all those people who had those the fishy eyes?
But yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Ooh, scarce
It'd be
magic
a
items.
good
That's
idea
nice.
to do it on the
Are you gonna
deadline.
ban
just
artificers,
maybe
or are we gonna be gods amongst men?
beforehand, so nothing happens per se.
I mean, yeah, start at level 3. 2 or 3 is pretty solid.
Oh yeah, I mean we should probably head out right away as soon as possible, just to get it taken care of.
Hmm.
I never got to. I really wanted to come into a situation where I could get that bag of holding and climb above something and just open it above them.
Also, just so you know, side note, brown bears have a walking speed of 40 feet per round.
Yes,
Yes,
they
they
do.
Make use of that barbarian.
So we are at the farm. Yes.
I know most of us are, yeah. I don't know what Sabathon was doing. Kind of took him under our wing. Said, here's a farm. Stay here.
Ashton?
I don't know. Am I at the farm?
No,
I did not see my
Sebastian.
character.
Sebastian.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I thought we were having him build a forge here.
Oh, right, yeah.
Um,
You don't know what kind of nerd talk you're hearing, but you're
we
here
haven't
for the
really
journey. This is Dungeons and
him
Dragons.
on the whole situation either. Just a heads up. What is the plan? If we have one.
As far as I know, we'll finish up in SaltMarsh and head to the Lizard Folk.
Oh yeah, we're getting into it now?
I think we're still waiting for DM.
Yeah.
Ivan, if you're trying to talk, we got a lot of background, but we're not hearing you.
No, I just haven't said anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out my calendars here.
Yeah, go for it. I gotta run my dog out quick.
Always something with this one. Kids,
Alright.
dogs,
Yeah.
jeez. Hey, fair enough. Hey, nerd. I mean, okay, so D&D is by far the best game ever. You can literally do whatever you want, and as long as you have a good DM and some fun friends to play around with, you can literally do whatever you want. So, it's good stuff. I love D&D. We're just getting started. We haven't actually
My wife
started the
just
game
started
yet.
doing laundry, and it makes my dog freak out. That's what we're going on.
Uh,
Behaves similar to if he needs to go out.
Well, Dan, I would recommend find something where, like, think of an example of where something is scarce but heavily sought after in other
have you
games and
figured
stories.
out, what you want to do about the boots?
Back to Minigard. I think we kind of decided as a group. Unless we haven't really heard from Sebastian at all, unless he really, really wants them or something.
Sebastian's been way too busy working on the forge, so unless someone has come to specifically talk to him, he hasn't really gone out much.
Well, we're just kind of we're discussing like out of character, like who'd be best with them. Like I don't know, would you benefit from their? I don't know what they're like mobility increasing boots or something.
So you can seduce the sexy werewolf daddies from the forest? Yeah, absolutely.
I
As long
don't
as you find
really have a
werewolf daddies in the
movement penalty,
forest and you have a
and
pretty good charisma,
My ability
absolutely.
to jump's not going to be all that great.
Sebastian, just a quick question. Do you by chance have the spell Identify?
So if we get a wizard without identify, we kill him right now. Just saying.
Don't you mean kill him and eat him?
Yes, and eat him.
Just like
Yeah, I do.
Good
Hey,
answer.
thank goodness. Good answer. So if you do give us like an idea of you do know that spell, Minigod will like bring the boots to you after getting them from Solace, hopefully, with some convincing.
You're trying to get a brand new pair of shoes away from a 14-year-old girl? Good luck.
I don't know if it was specified how old she was.
That's true. She just said she acted very childish. So I don't know how old she is.
Well, the first time you come into the now somewhat completed forge, it's a bit of a shambles considering he's kind of only made it from various stuff you find around here. But it's very clear that the guy is making this place a bit of a home for himself, wherever the heck he is. Actually, I don't even know who the heck owns this place I'm staying at.
Where are you staying?
I don't know, wherever the guys just threw me into, this farm.
The farm.
he's at
Cohen
the
technically owns it.
So the forge that you were trying to set up, was that on the farm?
I was just told to make a forge.
you might just put it on Drazer's land.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Because I did vaguely recall that Drazer had become a landowner.
Okay, so useful. Did anyone come to talk to me about the whole making a forge thing? Because I'm pretty sure I was doing it for an entire week. I think honestly that we put it at the farm. Okay then. Is me putting it up at the farm going to cause problems with anybody? Is more the question I'm asking now.
No, I don't think it would cause problems. At least none that you're aware of. I just want to know where it's going to be.
We can burn it down.
I guess it's this little side hut near the barn. Something close by to the place here, so you can just move stuff around here, but far enough to where it won't get into cause any issues.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess a bunch of land has been cleared out even before he bought it, so the issue of fire hazard seems more or less solved.
Yeah,
for the time
that's
being.
the first thing Sebastian would have done is make sure that there's a very low to 0% chance of a fire happening.
Yeah, well, smiths know this. That's why smithies tend to be on the edges of settlements. Prevent precisely that kind of occurrence.
I occasionally go out here and make sure the ground around me is mostly dirt, make sure there's nothing too flammable nearby in case the worst happens. Alright, so yeah, you come in here and you see Sebastian just getting stuff ready here, and yeah. Oh, Monaguard. Do you need something?
Yes. These boots, do you know what they do? These are magical.
Sebastian looks into his book here and double checks something. Alright, give me a few minutes. And I'll begin to ritual cast Identify.
Well, so you do have Identify.
Yeah.
Alright. So,
You always have to have it identify in the group.
you learn that they are boots of... what's it called? Springing and striding?
Striding
and
and
jumping?
springing.
Oh, striding and springing, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, springing
Alright,
and
so I know these boots. Enhance your walking speed if you're slow here, as long as you're not over encumbered. are also helps out if you are over encumbered and keeps your speed up. So it's good if you're overbearing yourself on equipment. And it, as the springing portion, it actually allows you to be able to leap with large bounds with your feet. Though I should warn you, it does not do a lot to stop you from falling too high, as long as you don't jump up too high. You know.
Oh, springing it. It is
Gravity
springing and
is a
spreading.
mean little lady.
Hey. Well, that sounds fun. We already figured out the jumping part. Just in general, but the speed thing can be quite useful.
Sometimes people who aren't really proficient with the uses of heavy armor and such here, unless you're really trained in it, it can slow you down here. The boots can cancel out that, plus also if you're overburdened with items and such here,
See,
And you will notice that there is some chainmail on Minotaur, so he is currently wearing some heavy armor.
Nice.
So yes, I told Solace that I would borrow these, and I kind of traded them for like some berries. I told her that there was some rabbits around here. If these just mysteriously disappeared, don't tell her, okay?
So, yeah, given the fact that Solus is transitioning to NPC, well, and given the fact that it's Solus, are you gonna ask her for them?
Yes, I really would like to try and get these for the group.
All right. So, what do you say to her?
Hey, I found some more of those like hallucinatory berries and a few rabbit hatches. Do you mind if I borrow these boots for like maybe a day or two? And you can just have fun with that.
Roll persuasion.
Damn. Okay.
Ooh.
18.
She says, well, do you have anything more to trade for them?
Nice.
And I let me see what Minotaur has. Let's see.
Is this before or after you came to Sebastian?
This is before, technically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I pull out the log of mysterious wood that I got from the elven place.
Log of mysterious wood?
The log of wood that was put in the brazier that I took out.
Oh. Okay.
I have this. It was from the elven place. The little place I found. I don't know what it does, but apparently it's got some magical to it.
Roll for initiative.
You want to trade a piece of burnt wood for these nice magical boots, eh?
Hey, I don't really have anything else.
Out of game, does anyone remember where you found the breastplate?
The lizard man cave?
Yeah,
In the
Lizard
muck?
Folk too.
Yeah, no, with the sword.
It was a body?
It was
No,
in the
it was
muck
just
with
like-
the sword and something else, if I remember.
Alright.
Yeah, it was like buried in the mud.
The far west side to the second entrance.
Alright, well, I guess to be fair, she somehow ended up with the breastplate, so I guess that's probably a worthy trade. I actually don't remember her ending up with it, but
I gave it to her after I leveled up, and my dex bonus with
right.
light armor was just the same as with the breastplate.
Right. So I guess it would probably be fair. She would trade that for the boots. I don't know how she ended up with both of them.
Minotaur will gladly just book it the moment he gets the boots, knowing that she's the trickery sort. And we'll just make a beeline for Sebastian.
Okay.
And get them identified.
Awesome.
And when you ask Sebastian about that request, he actually wants to make a little bit of a deal. Then, if he doesn't want him to talk about it,
Vinegar just looks down at him for a second.
it's nothing bad, mind you. I just require assistance with some work around here.
Oh, sure.
If we
kinda
encounter-
need to
Sorry,
deal
sorry.
with something in the next few hours.
Oh no, it's more of a long-term thing.
Right. That's what I mean. Is we got something we need to deal with now.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know how that's going to turn out.
Okay.
If the DM's willing to let me retcon it, could I didn't really do much with my downtime last time. Maybe I could have helped you set that forge up. That's what you're talking about?
Okay, sure. I'll accept some help.
DM?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. That's what I did with my downtime, was just follow your direction and help you set that forge up.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, Solus will declare that she says, "I'm not really interested in going back to visit the lizard men. I think that there are places where the veil between this land and the Feywild is really thin in the west. So I'm going to go and take my foxes and see if I can find it, because I'm convinced it's there."
Okay, fair enough.
Plus, it's far away from the seagulls.
Understandable.
Damn seagulls.
DM gets 100 XP for RP.
No way. I should get way more.
Boy.
Just
Wow, I
each
mean,
and
that
every
was
one of
her-
the monsters just getting extra experience every single time Ivan freaking RPs. We'll be dead in the next 2 sessions.
Well, that was her biggest contribution to the RP. The whole seagull episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
What else
so-
we need to-
Algalon's gonna look for Minigard at the farm / smithery.
Okay.
Minigard,
Feeling better, I see.
yes, I just wanted to apologize about the past few days. I do know you don't speak Druidic, but that is all I could speak at the time. So I'm sorry about that.
I did treat you a little harshly, I'll grant it. You're still a small fellow, and you're new to these things. I understand. Weakness is hard to challenge sometimes.
You may be very big and
Yes.
very hardy, but I assure you I am not weak.
Oh, no, I did not say you were weak. I'm just
You
saying
did several
that-
times, actually.
Yes,
But you do have to understand that there are some forces that even somebody as strong as yourself can't stop. But no, I have no hard feelings.
I understand.
And I'll do my best to converse with you in a language you can understand in the future.
By chance, do you know this one?
And he will speak in a very unhinged, very darkish tone. Do you by chance know Infernal?
I don't. I will respond back in Giant, though. Do you understand this?
Drazer's gonna pick up his ears when he hears that.
She taught me how to do that language. I only know a little bit. But
Very-
I understand weakness. And I apologize for calling you it. I've dealt with it myself. And I couldn't do anything with that thing either, trust me. I tried punching it, it didn't go, it just went straight through.
Yes, I had a way to send it back, as it were. Unfortunately, I was not able to do so. But don't worry, we're all perfectly strong in our own ways. Just like this one, I wasn't fully with it these last few days. I went out and recentered myself. I think the name was Did I get Sebastian?
That is my name, yes.
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Algalon.
It's a pleasure to meet you with all your faculties.
You are human?
Last time I checked, yeah.
Okay. I'll remember that.
Is that going to be a problem?
For the most part, no, until you do what all humans do and inevitably betray me. And then we'll have a problem. But for right now, we're perfectly fine.
Wow, okay. Gonna open up with that, okay.
I kind of poke my head up from behind the forge. Yeah, he hates humans. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
It's a recurring thing.
Oh, yeah, well, I have no reason to hold it back, especially if you're going to be traveling with us.
I got some shoes to put on.
Okay, so threatened to be eaten and now being told straight up that I'm a traitor. Okay.
You're a traitor.
No, traitor, not traitor.
What are you trading?
I work at Forge. Technically,
Oh, okay.
I'm
I'll have no use for that, but I do appreciate the work.
well, I'm gonna try and branch out a little bit here. Seems that my skill set needs to be a little bit more branching out.
So, while we're on the subject, can you forge magical items or just like kind of regular?
I can forge magical equipment, yes, but the problem is I need time and resources for it.
I'm wondering if you could tell us here. Drazer, can I see that bag of holding quick?
Yeah.
I'll get the bag of holding and reach in and produce those two like strange ingots we found in the crypt and pass them over to Sebastian. Can you tell me anything about this? We found these ingots and we have no idea what their properties are.
DM, can I make a smithing tool check to see if I can identify them? Or history?
You can do both. I guess you
Alright.
would start with history.
Alright.
Bad?
14.
You have investigation too, by chance?
No, but I have a +5 in it.
But you're not proficient.
No, I'm not proficient.
Okay.
He has a 20 intelligence. I got so screwed on my rolls, man.
So it looks like it's like nothing you've seen before. It looks like some sort of alloy.
This is some odd material. Never seen it in my experience.
It's kind of copper colored, very red for copper.
Does it match the necklace I have that we
Yes,
found
it
earlier?
does. Yes, it does.
Alright.
If you want to like play around with it and melt it down.
Alright, first things first, I'm gonna make one casting of Identify just to see if it has any type of magical properties or some type of magical nature. Will that be alright?
Yeah. So
I cast it with an actual spell casting, so I use up a spell slot.
okay. So what you learn is it's kind of residually magical.
Okay,
The reason, the reading that you get from it is, I mean, I don't know how much experience you have with weird metals, but you've probably heard of mithril. This isn't it, but it seems like it has similar properties. Like it can be easily enchanted into a magic item of various kinds. So, yeah, it's kind of like a high octane metal in a sense.
So, I'm not familiar with this, but my guesswork,
Premium
my
unleaded.
little bit of studying here, at least suggests that this might be some useful materials for creating magical items. I'll need to work on. I need to figure out a bit more about it before I start using it up, because I assume this is all you got.
Yeah, we just had the 2 ingots. We didn't find any more. There possibly could be more back at the crypt, but I mean, the last we were there, it kind of led Algalon to the state he was in, so we're kind of not wanting to go back immediately. Is your inkling that it'd be better for like weapon casting or armor?
I need a lot more for armor casting.
Okay.
At least.
Yeah, you can't.
At least for a decent suit.
You can't learn that from Identify. I mean, it's definitely a softer metal.
No, I meant the amount. Sorry.
Yeah, the amount is definitely not enough for armor. But like, insofar as learning what you can enchant it into, that you're not entirely clear on.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying that I probably had an easier time making a weapon because there's like it doesn't use as much metal material as the armor piece would. Again,
Okay.
I don't know how much until I actually do some more research on this stuff here, because again, I don't want to waste it. But
Yeah.
so far here, it looks like it's magically attainable, so it's a good source to start with.
Right.
Okay, well, the next... go ahead.
Another thing that you do learn from the Identify is it is an alloy, but it seems to be naturally occurring.
Okay.
Ooh. That's
I wonder if this
interesting.
is a metal.
So you found it in these ruins, you said?
Yeah, they're basically just sitting on what I assume is a table or some sort of just like raised platform just sitting there amongst a lot of corpses.
Maybe if we prepare ourselves accordingly, we can investigate there sometime in the future.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna want to do a lot more research into banshees before we go back there.
Yeah, if I find some time, I'm gonna try and find a spell that might be able to help as well.
Perhaps if you're saying it's slightly magical, this could be used as a weapon to fight a banshee, possibly.
Well, I can already work on that. I don't know if you remember seeing this, but I can actually magically enchant weapons right now, for at least the short term.
Okay. I'm curious about that. Actually, I use crossbows. Could you enchant the crossbow, or to be like by a per bolt basis?
Usually that's the DM's calling that one. If I enchant his crossbow, would all the shots he come from it be magical?
I think if you enchant a crossbow, it would have the bonus, but insofar as being able to hit things that require magical weapons to be harmed, that wouldn't work.
Okay.
It has to be the missile.
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense.
So yeah, okay. I feel like, unfortunately, it's the limit. I can only enchant the weapon to be more accurate. I can't really do much for enchanting the ammunition. That's a separate thing, and unfortunately, I am not a woodworker.
Speaking of that, actually, Ral, while I was recentering my mind, and I'll pull out my quarterstaff and cast Shillelagh on it, I have figured out a way to dispatch of it. And you see my quarterstaff start to glow a silvery glow.
Oh, that seems handy.
Yes.
You're thinking, I mean, obviously, normal martial means are fairly ineffective against that thing, so we're thinking that magical damage is probably the way to go, then.
And I can work with that, at least with anyone else's physical weaponry or martial close combat weaponry.
Well, before we go back there, maybe I'll like set about acquiring a short sword or something.
I'm also working. Also, Minotaur has actually kind of encouraged me to look into a different project.
I would underline, even though it was just mentioned, that Drazer does have a necklace that's made out of what looks to be an identical metal.
Well, that's good for him. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
near
we
the
don't
man.
care about Drazer. That's fine.
The man is threatening to eat me. Of course, I'm not going anywhere near him.
We got it from the lizard, by the way.
Is that Drazer? Does that necklace have sentimental value to you, or could he possibly run some experiments on it?
Don't.
We had like 3 of them. We had like 2 or 3 of those necklaces that we had. They had some of it on there.
Do
We
not
got 2 or
address.
3. Can we give him one just so he can maybe tool around with it?
Yep. We have
Okay.
2 of them. Yeah, so
Okay.
we can do the second one.
All
All
right.
right. When I get
The
some
less
time,
pretty.
when I get some time, I'll work on it.
Sounds like a project for maybe when we have more downtime
Yeah.
next time
But-
around.
Yes, but to my knowledge and what I've been hearing, something is happening pretty soon.
That reminds me, Drazer and Ralston. I do believe we need to discuss.
Oh yeah.
Yes. In private.
Okay. Well, if you'll excuse me for a second, I'm gonna go speak with Algalon and Drazer. We'll be back.
Drazer, if you could stop eating the birds for like 2 minutes.
Drazer's eating birds?
Or as Drazer does in his spare time.
Just, I just threw something random out. Why not?
Well, Drazer was more into mammals, or
Yeah, if he's not eating a bipedal creature, it's a good day.
It's kind of hard for the bear to catch a bird.
We've been out of town. He may be short on bipedal creatures. I don't know if he went to the Costco to stock up.
They haven't fishing.
Let's exit the forge. Maybe go into the farmhouse then.
All right, is this a conversation that you want to have in private? I mean, amongst yourselves as players?
Nah, I don't think they're gonna metagame. It's fine.
Yeah, just in character. Should be
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're fine. I don't remember exactly how much we told Minigard, but what do you know of this new one?
I guess you're kind of in a state. I don't know him much better than you do. I mean, I spent a few days building a forge with the guy, but we didn't really get into personal details. Just out of character quick, Sebastian, you were hinting like that you had run afoul of the law before we met you or something, weren't you?
Not technically. I was looking into some shipment issues that came up about some people sending about a whole bunch of nails.
Yeah, he had
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so don't scratch that.
Yeah,
So
something
here's
about being turned away from a guy who, and the company just suddenly disappearing, and my wares being connected with goblins trying to get it.
Okay.
At least
So
that's
here's
what
my Sebastian is our fall guy. So we have him as in case something happens, he's the face of the whole selling weapons to you orcs or lizardmen or whatever. Because everyone saw him negotiating with those orcs.
That
On
is
top of that,
okay.
he makes weapons. On top of that, he makes weapons. So
He makes weapons of metal too.
yes, exactly. I think he's the perfect fall guy for that.
I will trust your judgment on this. This is sound. I honestly don't remember how much Minigard knows.
Minotaur's less of an issue.
Yeah, he pretty much knows what we're doing, I think.
Okay.
He's aware.
Now, I have gone along with this, but I still do not feel right about this transaction.
No, I know you have misgivings about it. Honestly, I at this point I would almost say
We should stop Sebastian from doing this. So we need to tell we could tell the council that Sebastian was making all these weapon sales.
yeah. I mean, if it comes to that, honestly, but I was At this point, I would almost say screw it with the lizardmen, but Drazer signed some sort of pact which appeared to be magical with them before we left, so I think at least for Drazer's sake, we should complete this.
Okay, if that
That's
is
what-
the path that I must go, that is where I shall. But I do have one suggestion. We can tell Sebastian of what's going on. However, he should not be there once we make the transaction, as he was not a part of the original. They already do not trust us.
Yeah, so should we even fill him in at all, or just say we need to go talk to the lizard people and then just have him like wait outside or something?
What is that phrase? Ignorance is bliss?
Fair enough.
All right, I guess we can see what Minigard says. If he's already privy to the plan, then he should have a say.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain he knows. I mean, we talked to him about it, and I think we basically laid it all on the line for him, as far as I remember.
As you guys are like walking out, you can see Sebastian is talking to Minigard at the moment.
Minigard, do you have a moment?
Give me one moment, Sebastian. Yeah. What's the issue?
Oh, we just need your opinion.
On?
A discussion
Stuff.
that we have.
Sebastian getting the picture really clear. You know what? I'll leave, and goes out the door.
What? Okay.
And he'll walk over.
So, what's the situation? Why did you leave me here?
We do have a illicit deal with some natives that a human may or may not want to follow along with.
Oh, you're talking about the lizard folk that you told me about?
Yes.
Yes, I'm well aware that we have another week until we need to talk to them.
Well, my worry was that he is following us, especially to this home here, which means they may be part of our company, and so they may come with us to the Lizardman Cave.
Are you asking whether or not he should join us?
Yes,
No,
and if he does,
good.
should we tell him? Well, that was my understanding, Raul. If you have,
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I think he fully intends on joining us. It's just a question of how much we should tell him.
I would say it would be kind of a dick move not to tell someone the stakes that they're betting into. He seems pretty all in at the moment, and honestly, his loyalty is questionable, yes, because he's human, but apart from that, he seems a decent person. I'd rather him know the details of what exactly is going on. Just like I'd like to know exactly what the heck is going on with you lot. I mean, we're all part of a group. We need to have each other's backs out there. There shouldn't be any side of mistrust.
Sure. I mean, I can see that. That's essentially the same argument I had as to why we should tell you when we met you.
but once we do say this, I completely agree. No one should lie. However, who is to say that once he is privy to this information, he does not turn on us immediately?
Well, that's not going to be an issue. I got that handled.
I doubt that will be an issue. I think he is more than aware of the consequences of him turning coat for the situation.
And I just look over at Drazer with a very knowing look.
Really? Because he talks to the orcs like he was really chummy with them.
Are you
Orcs
been
or the
trying to
goblins?
avoid you ever since you've been trying
Yeah, I
to...
thought they were orcs.
There were orcs before we got
Okay.
to SaltMarsh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they were orcs, and I think they might be the ones that were causing so much trouble. But, yes, I think he needs to be clued in. It would be
All right, well,
a bit unfair.
I mean that's fair.
Very well then. And I'm gonna leave and run over to Sebastian if I can find him. I'm just gonna walk out.
He's out in the open, but he's a good 100 foot away here, unable to completely hear what anything you would have been saying.
Okay.
Great.
You see this little halfling running up to you. Sebastian, before
Yes?
they get here, I have one question. Do you have faith?
With a heart.
Faith in, might I ask?
Do you believe in a deity?
DM, have deities proven examples in this world?
Proven examples?
The power of deities a foundational fact of this universe, or is it more subjective at that point? Just making sure.
Basically, do divine miracles happen here?
Basically, there are no such things as atheists, at least as far as you know.
Okay.
Or people who are called atheists are those
Crazy.
those who are suspected of worshiping the nether powers, essentially.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had the context right. Well, I'm not a fool to believe that they don't exist. Faith, though, I believe more in the faith of oneself, if that makes any sense.
I understand. Not everyone can be perfect. That's fine.
Okay.
And I'll say at this time, if anybody followed, they'd probably pop in right then.
And you can see me out of the corner of your eye at a distance, like kind of as stealthy as possible, circling behind Sebastian as you're talking to him. But I'm not. I don't think I'm within earshot quite yet.
Okay. I may not be the best one to do this, as I'm not very good with words, but if you wish to follow us and join us, there is something you must know.
All right.
This is hard to put. How are you at following laws?
Well, considering my business kind of requires that I follow the law if I mean to survive, I'm somewhat partial to following them.
So if you were to, let's say, be forced to sell your wares to people who shouldn't have them, but if you don't, bad things would happen, what would you do?
Algalon,
Yes.
might I also remind you that he did make a deal with the orcs. So I think he's completely fine with selling wares to the...
I remind you that the deal was made so that they wouldn't try to attack us right then and there.
I do not remember him making that deal, no.
Oh, that's fair. That's right. You were... Yes. He did make some sort of deal with the orcs, which I believe are natives of the land. So... I don't know, Sebastian.
What
Would
might
you
I ask?
agree?
Might I ask what this bad thing is? If I be privy to such information.
My assumption is that, let's say in this situation, they would kill you.
Which, of course, I would not allow them to do. I'll make sure that you are completely safe as long as the rest of us, but it might be a bad situation like that.
So, thank you, Minotaur. But so make sure I get this straight here. My options are either not follow this and die, either by your hands or someone else's hands if I ever inform anyone about this, or two, do so and potentially live. That's a very tempting options right there.
If it makes you feel better, I have no wish to kill you.
Oh yes, that completely makes me safe.
I don't kill people.
Jader does.
I'm more speaking about the other individuals who I currently do not see. But the tingling in my neck is anything to go off of. I swear they're watching me. Waiting for an opportunity.
Jader's peering out the window as you say that.
I guess, what's your passive perception? 10?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you would. I guess Minigard and Algalon could see me. I'm easily within. I would say within earshot right now. One of my hands is resting on one of my crossbows. I'm listening to
no,
this thing.
Minigard does not notice you. Pass perception 11, baby.
You're facing me. I'm assuming you're facing him, so you're basically looking. You'd be looking past him at me.
Oh, I'd be looking down at Sebastian. My focus is on him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yep.
all right. Okay, fair enough.
So I tell you here, so seeing how my options are either die or live, what do you think is the correct choice at that point then?
I will let you know that although you may be used to this as a human, I do not lie, and we have no wish to kill you. If you give us a reason, one of us may have a reason to kill you.
You're giving me a lot of very convincing reasons why I should stay here.
Exactly, that is why I'm telling you.
Sarcasm is a foreign concept to use, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is.
I think so.
All right then. Well, I've already said that I would come and work with this, and I am a man of my word.
What do you mean already? Did they already tell you?
I'm more already.
And I'll look over to Minigard.
Minigard just looks up for a second.
I more mean that I agreed to offer my services in exchange for assistances.
Oh, so then you'll have no issue with a trade deal with the locals for metal weapons.
Depends. What's
Natives.
the trade?
Sorry, not locals. That's very different here.
That depends on the trade. What are they offering?
I believe our life and further trade.
It's not a really good business deal.
We left our last wizard with them.
But he can die.
Then again, I didn't know him that well. I think Drazer knew him better than I did.
Considering his opinions on spellcasters that I found pretty clearly.
Oh, does he have an issue with spellcasters?
I believe the first thing he said to me was when he figured out I could do magic was if I could steal his soul.
Oh, can you? I would much prefer my soul to be in me.
I believe the proper term, after that is not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, if that is the will of Palor, so it shall be.
But I also have no wish to, because it's really bad for business to steal your client's souls. If they are dead, they cannot pay.
Sorry. I don't know.
YouTube Music is a music app, and with
Yes, YouTube.
Yes.
I lost my train of thought there.
That's all right. You have said many words, but I do not believe you've given me an answer.
The short answer is yes, I will assist.
Oh, good.
Okay, and you will not betray us. I have been betrayed by humans before.
No, I'm not. I do have one request.
Yes.
As long as I prove worthy, at least of services group, that Treason is not allowed to attempt to kill me or eat me.
I have stopped him from harming one of us before. I will do it again if need be.
As long as my life is guaranteed to at least be prolonged within this group, then yes, I will offer my services.
With that, you
Oh, gee,
feel a
that-
hand on your shoulder. Hey, welcome to the company. Glad to have you aboard.
Oh God, where do you come from?
Gotta walk by, give Algalon a nod.
I'll nod back.
Sebastian tries his best to contain his worry because the physical contact like that is just nerving, but he looks at it and says, since you're here, actually, I have a question for you.
Who, me? Like, stop and turn around.
Yes. How dexterous are you? Actually, all of you.
I'm quite nimble. I would say quite.
I believe I've been said to be all thumbs.
What type of armor are you wearing, Ralston?
Studded leather. I believe. Let me check. I'm pretty sure it's studded leather.
All right. Just so you know, in the future here, I can offer you something a little bit better.
Oh, I'm definitely interested.
It does require you to not be wearing armor, period, but I can offer protection that's greater, if slightly.
No armor whatsoever.
Well, I'll give you a demonstration.
Yeah,
He can't-
let's give it a try.
Sebastian casts a spell. Oh, he tells you guys he's going to cast a spell, and you see him do some pieces here, hand signature to himself, and then you suddenly see shimmering little shields of armor start to spread across his body.
Interesting.
And what is that?
Well, I believe the colloquial term for it is Mage Armor. It's a protective spell for spellcasters usually.
Algalon looks down and said, I am not a mage.
And luckily, though, the spell can be attributed to anyone I touch. It's mostly designed for individuals, though, who have extra coordination of their body. But it does offer, but usually it's always been known to offer better protection than standard studded leather armor.
Sure. I mean, that would be handy when we get into a fight.
Yes. Or at the very least here, if we get ambushed if we get into a situation where we don't have our armor on, just something in the future to at least be aware of my abilities.
How does that?
Most of
do
my
I need to
spell casting. Sorry. Go ahead.
Do I need to remove my armor for you to cast that on me?
That does require you to not be wearing your armor. Yes, the spell
Okay.
disrupts itself when the armor is equipped.
Okay.
But the spell does last for a long time. I've tracked it for at least about 8 hours.
Well then.
Nice. That is handy.
It's very useful.
The character
guess
that
I
would give me, it would boost my AC by 1.
That's something, yeah.
It's bad.
I think it would. What about you, Algalon? What are you wearing?
I am currently wearing leather armor.
And I could do the same thing for you then.
Oh, I do appreciate it, but I fear it would be wasted on myself.
Possibly. It depends on the situation. There might be some times where the extra protection might be better. But again, I'm just offering. I also have some. Most of my spells here have been suited to our support abilities. I'm not much of a destroyer of worlds mage, if that makes any sense. Typically, my spells are to improve the people and make them better.
I have not seen somebody who destroys worlds. I would not recommend it.
Even someone who could destroy faces.
Faces.
I guess technically it really depends on your perspective. Depends on how grand you think a world can be, or how big one can be. Some cases, a world is a person, their own perspective and views.
Then technically, yes, I have seen someone who has destroyed worlds. If they are counting as people.
Yes.
Yes.
The simplest fact to say is that I am not a fighter, if that makes any sense. I don't enjoy fighting if I can avoid it.
You may have chosen the wrong group.
I figured so, but sometimes things must be if one wishes to progress any further.
Yes, exactly.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. It was right
Just
there.
aside real quick, out of character, what's the calculation for AC with medium armor? Is it 10 plus dex plus proficiency?
I thought it was 12
No.
plus dex.
It's 12. It's 12.
For medium armor?
Yeah, medium.
So medium armor is
Depends on the armor.
It depends on the armor, and you have a maximum of 2 dex.
Yeah, plus 2 dex. I mean, yeah.
Unless you have the feat.
Oh, sorry, I meant light. You get your full dex, but proficiency doesn't come into it, right? It's just
No.
what the armor gives plus dex mod.
Yes, light armor light armor is typically good for high dexterous characters, medium armor is good as partially dex, and heavy armor is good for non-dexterous characters.
Got
Right.
ya. I'm just trying to figure out how useful, because I think, yeah, that spell will always boost my AC by 1, better than light armor will.
Yeah, unless you find +1 stud leather, then it's the exact same thing at that point.
Okay.
That is also a +1 spell.
Well, except that it's going to cost Sebastian a slot.
Which doesn't really matter. I can gain about spell slots back every day.
Right.
Remember those words.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, can wizards gain
Remember those
slots
words.
back on a short
Arcane
rest?
recovery specifically states I gain a spell slot, but I can reuse it every day, which is very weird wording, honestly.
Okay.
Well, you only get 1 level 2 spell slot, or I think it's level 2 or whatever it is, depending on your
Up
level.
to 3, I believe.
I'm pretty sure when I hit 5, one of my class features, I get rope trick, so that would be kind of handy for you then, if you're low on spell slots, because you can gain with a short rest.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I'm just to clarify here, the once per day thing is basically is how we're ruling it, right? Once per day, seeing as how it's worded. Because
Once
Okay.
per day when you finish a short rest. It basically means, that you can't just keep taking short rests throughout
Yeah,
the
no.
period of the day and keep recovering spells.
but my arcane recovery, by your word, would recover once per day, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, I can technically gain my spell slots back. I don't gain a lot back, mind you, but I still have the ability to regain them. So
Okay.
I am going to be very careful with my spell casting, of course, because
I'm just trying to find uses for short rest, because it only lasts an hour, so it's not, like, really great for, like, camping overnight or anything, but for people who can benefit from short rest, it's pretty handy.
I'm looking into. I'm looking next level. If I can get to next level, I'm picking up Lehman's Tiny Hut, which is an 8-hour bubble of no. It's a spell. It
Nice.
basically it's just a protective field for us to sleep in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty useful.
Yeah.
That is.
It's a ritual spell, so I don't have to waste a spell slot, and it lasts as long as a short rest.
Nice. Oh, cool, Minigard. And then also I can get the mental image of a Minotaur trying to climb up a rope.
Algalon stuff comes back on short rest too, for the most part.
Oh,
Except
hell yeah.
spell slots.
Yeah, you got to be very careful. Yeah, I got to be very careful in this type of system.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just-
yes.
Take a very carefully choose your spells wisely.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you are with
So-
us, then we have. But DM, are we right that you said it was only like a day or two till the deadline, or was it actually like an Ennead?
No, it was. Yeah. So yeah, once that first Ennead ends, after your return to town, you're supposed to be there the following day. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
that's
following
what I thought.
Oh, shit. Okay.
the
All right.
following day is
Yeah.
the moon.
All right then, Sebastian, if you're with us, we do have to make haste out of town in order to meet our trade partners, acquaintance. What do we call them?
Our threateners.
Call them our associates for the sake of
Associates.
open conversation.
That's right. I've heard you humans use associates a lot.
All right. Well, then let us make haste. Then you see Sebastian head off, or stopping
let's go.
and turning back. Where are we going?
You'll see. Do you have any sort of protective cloak? Because it sometimes it tends to rain pretty hard out here, and you
I
don't
travel a lot, so yes, I do have a cloak.
Okay. Yeah, then let's get moving. The sooner the better, honestly.
Oh, sorry, Ralston. I need one quick word. I just remembered.
Yeah, it's no problem.
I'm gonna take Ralston off to the side. That book, I do not believe it's what caused me to go into the state I was, but I did learn elves are not from here. However, those structures are elven made
Yeah, I assumed as much.
from from an island that sank.
the elves are from an island that sank? Like you say, you're thinking they fled here.
Yes, and remember what the lizard people are afraid of.
What? What are they
An
afraid of?
attack from the sea.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Also, one last thing. There were, I did read that there were some elf lords that were given rings, and they used them to fight against each other, which may have actually caused this corruption. I'm not 100% sure yet, but that is what it has said.
Okay. I mean, that fits. That makes sense. Do you have an inkling of how long ago that was?
No, not
Okay.
yet. That's all.
I mean, that yeah, no, thank you. That's starting to put some pieces together here is what's going on. Definitely keep it in mind.
Yes. All right, shall we? Oh, Minigard,
Yeah.
I need a ride.
Oh, okay.
And he'll do that thing of like he'll leap from his back onto his feet with his new boots, tighten the gauntlets up.
Oh, we're ready to go then.
Yeah, two quick things before you go. Well, maybe three. So first thing is, if you want to set up your forge, you're probably gonna have to blow some money. Because, I mean, you have building materials, so that's more or less free, but
How much money are we talking?
well, I mean, what's the main thing you need? You need a crucible
Yeah.
in order to melt metal, and you need bellows in order to make the fire hot enough.
Casts.
So
Some tools too, DM, for like manipulating the crucible and such, like some metal tongs.
yeah, you need
Like
like
I think that
Well,
comes. I think that comes with the smith tools I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I guess you would have those. I'm gonna say 50.
Okay, well, I need to make some money, or I can even get the forge completely done.
Okay, next time we have downtime too, like we can chip in on that too, because it's going to benefit all of us.
Well, I mean, if you want to spend it, throughout this Ennead, then it can be set up.
Oh, I only have 10 gold.
Guys, should we chip in on this, or what are we thinking?
Well, I did need around 10 times what I have, but that's for later. So I think that'll help me get to where I need to be. I can chip in 25 gold.
Ooh,
All
yeah,
right.
I can throw in a decent amount here. What do I got?
Because Sebastian, if I give you a flower, would you be able to gild that flower with gold? If I have the materials, of course.
1 second.
I recall you have a gold flower.
Is it worth 300 gold?
How much it's worth?
Fair. I don't have that I know of.
Let me see if that actually falls into a category of smithing. Where's the metal is gilded? Gilding is a decorative technique for applying a very thin coat of gold to solid surfaces such as metal. I don't know, DM, would I know how to gild something?
You could give it a shot. Drazer, people are aware of those little trinkets. Do you have the bag?
Which trinkets?
The ones that were taken from the house. There was a flower. There was oh, you sold those, I guess.
Yeah, we sold all of them.
Okay, never mind. They're gone.
First he kills me, then he gets my hopes up. Thanks, DM.
There you go.
I tell Algalon that as long as I can get access to the amount of gold that you need for this, at least to make it proper, yes, I can definitely gild a flower.
All right, then I will give you this 25 gold as a investment, as it were.
It will be a challenge, as I have never gilded a flower before, but I'm up for new attempts.
We're kind of retconning in the money, right? Because this would have happened over the.
Was
downtime.
Cohen with you when you found those things?
Oh, speaking of which, when we get Abel back, do we guys still get the spell book he had? Not the one from what's his name, but the other one he had.
Evel's still with the lizard people.
Yeah, but if we want to get him back there, he had a spell book, not the one that the big bad magic guy had. The other one we found inside that the mansion.
Yeah, I believe he has that.
So yeah, you might want that, Sebastian.
Oh, good. Hopefully the individual who had it at least knew something interesting in it.
Perhaps.
Got her in there, and
Hopefully he's also not dead.
yeah.
Was Cohen with you when you found those things?
I think so.
I think he was too. So yeah, even though I guess you sold those, Cohen, since you're living with him, you will say that there was a golden flower that was found in the mansion that appeared to be of very fine craftsmanship and also pure gold with no admixtures. All right, so you're up to 35.
I gave him the last 15 DM.
Ah, gotcha. All right, so you've got the forge set up with a crucible and bellows. Were you going to try to do something with those ingots?
I'll
Said you were going to use smithing tools.
I was more using things to try and identify how they would work. I don't
The
know.
necklace too. Don't forget, you can kind of probably easier to tinker around with that than ingots.
Yeah, I'd probably tinker around with the amulets first before I start any work on magic enchanting, because I figure I have to magic enchant an item while I make it. Correct? I don't think I can enchant a weapon that's already made, right, DM?
I guess my answer to that would be you don't really know. I mean, you can play around with something and see what happens.
Well, I will do that after we. Since I only got given these ingots today. I don't think I've.
Well, you had these ingots, so you could have been given them.
Okay.
Earlier.
All right, you know what? Okay, I work with the amulets I was given, and I just melt them down and see how well they work.
The amulets you were given? Which amulets?
The necklaces, sorry.
The one necklace.
Yeah,
Dra-
one necklace, because Drazer had two of them.
Sorry, I heard two. I'm sorry.
Oh.
All right, so the necklace that Drazer gave me, made of the same material. I don't want to waste.
Right.
Sorry?
Did that have a pendant?
I think it did. I think it just had like teeth on it. It had teeth on it. That's right.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna
The wire itself is metal.
So you're gonna like extract the tooth and melt the metal?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, roll your smithing tools. And I guess was that set to a particular attribute?
It was on intelligence. What would you wanted it? Sorry.
Well, I'll buy that actually. Intelligence seems more or less appropriate. If it was wisdom, how much lower would it be?
5 points.
Hopefully I didn't miss too
What
much.
do you do when you melt it?
First, as I melt it here, I try to get a gauge of how well it melts here, get an idea of its melting point, see then how viscid it is. Then I try to figure out its cooling temperature. Then I figure out how well I can shape it. You know, basic simple test procedures with the material.
Yeah, so it's definitely very malleable. I mean,
Oh
you
yes,
can
this metal
make
seems to be made of metal.
very fine objects with it. When you melt it down, I guess what you notice is that the alloy seems to be copper gold alloy.
Oh, copper
So,
gold.
Yeah, it definitely has gold in it.
Interesting material, honestly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's harder than regular gold.
Code.
Well, I mean, because gold is a pretty soft metal.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it looks like it could be made into weapons and armor potentially, because I mean, gold would really kind of be useless for that. But it's also
Ooh, potions.
it's also, I guess, it doesn't tarnish like copper does. I mean, it doesn't get like that oxidation.
Rusted. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So definitely a good long-term.
It has the best properties of both metals.
All right, that's actually pretty good. Good long-term, low maintenance. I could definitely see some good use out of this. If I have some time, I'll just turn the materials into a dagger. If that is enough for the necklace to generate the material I was given.
No.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, the necklace. It's not like, you know.
Okay.
Gangster amounts of bling. You know, it was like.
Could he make a arrowhead? Is there enough for that?
He could make an arrowhead, yeah, but not a dagger.
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you make a bolt head and I can test it out on something and see if it does anything more than like a typical steel or iron.
How many bolt heads could I make?
I think it would still just be one.
All right.
From a necklace.
I use what little material resources I have, and I make one bolt head.
Yeah.
I also, if anyone's watching me actually while working here, they'll notice that I'm actually using not just tongs here, but somehow using. You'll see some stuff levitating around me, helping me out as I work the forge.
Oh.
Nice. Then I guess while you're doing that, I will yank the tip off of one of my bolts and hand you the basically blank shaft for you to fix the new head on it.
You feel a hand pull the arrow bolt from your hand, but you don't see anything in front of you, and it just starts levitating. And then
Interesting.
Sebastian will gently take it. Thank you. And as the process is finished, I carefully attach the bolt head to it. And done.
Nice. Yeah, the next time we get into some kind of trouble, I'll try shooting this, and hopefully I don't miss. And we'll see what kind of effect it has. Maybe if it pierces a little better.
Well, I'll definitely say it's got some good material components out of it. Whoever knew how to make this stuff definitely knew what they're doing. This stuff is good maintenance ability.
Does it feel like it's more like it's light yet as durable as steel? Would you say, or is it more malleable?
Well, it's good. Copper's not a bad material, and it's got some gold components in it, which actually been increased its density. So it's actually quite effective. It's also, for long-term maintenance, of course, here it also does not rust as easily. So I could actually think it's got a lot of, it's basically taking both materials and enhanced them. I don't know about long-term effects here. I would need to study it more before I can answer that question, but at this point here, it's a big pointy metal object and it should hurt just as any other hard pointy metal object.
Yeah, I mean, normally, copper is not as good as iron or steel in terms of potential weaponry, but this stuff does seem to equal iron.
The gold composite is definitely adding some benefits to it.
Yeah.
DM, it's a bit lighter than iron as well, then, or is it about the same?
It would probably be heavier than iron, because I mean, gold is heavier than iron.
Yeah. And
All right. Oh, nice. So the last thing is, you get a visit from Ulrich. So he comes and he says, my cousin, he wants to speak to you.
To any of us in particular, or all of us?
I guess kind of. Well, I guess he comes to like Drazer, or he probably comes to Cone since it's Cone's place. And I guess like Cone will gather you either while he's still there or when he tells him to come back.
Okay. So you're saying this is happening during downtime, or is this like right now?
It's kind of happening, yeah, toward the end, like
Okay,
last day of downtime. So are you going to attend?
Yeah.
Or...
Yes. He has
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, am I allowed to attend, or is this a secret group thing?
Yeah, I think you can attend.
I guess it's kind of up to them.
Yeah, come along, man.
All right, I will go along, and hopefully will not be murdered.
Algalon, Drazer, you guys want to hear what this guy has to say, or are you busy?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yes, it is good to see what. Yes.
Okay.
Alright. So, day before you plan to leave, you stroll into town.
We're just time warping all over the place.
Go to Brazer's mansion. He does have some guards outside, which you haven't seen before. But they recognize you. Some of them are, well, actually both of them are Drazer's comrades in arms. So they will let you in.
Sebastian is immediately regretting this decision.
So, yeah, they conduct you into his cabinet or study or whatever it is. And, yeah, he's kind of like pacing back and forth with a pipe in his mouth. And looks like a big drink on his table. And yeah, when you are escorted in, he says, finally, what took you so long?
Apologies, sir. We're now made aware you wished an audience, so we came as soon as possible.
How long have you been back?
Oh, pretty close to an Ennead.
You didn't see fit to come and attend upon me?
You told us to get away from you.
I was under the impression we were only supposed to contact something important.
Well, it is important. Should always check in, at least. Where have you been?
We kind of got caught up in kind of discovered ancient, I guess you'd call it a crypt or a mine.
A mine? What kind of mine?
Well, we don't know per se. It seems rather well crafted for a mine.
Where?
A ways southwest of SaltMarsh.
Southwest. How far?
Just out of character, DM. I just want to make sure. Like you said, there's like a limit to how far people from SaltMarsh are allowed to explore and such. Correct? Like we can't cross over into native lands.
Yeah.
Just say pillaging.
Phandalin.
Yeah, it's somewhat near Phandalin. Like kind of in between Phandalin and SaltMarsh.
Is it beyond the pale?
No, I wouldn't say so, no.
I have heard word that there are very rich mines there. I was thinking of sending a prospecting party and perhaps making an investment, but now my money is all tied up. So, what did you find there? Was it a mine? What kind of mine?
We encountered quite a few shambling grotesqueries, Walking Dead, a Banshee. It's relatively still unexplored by us as we had to retreat and regroup for the time being. I mean, Banshees are no joke. What was that, sir?
Nobody owns it?
No, it seems relatively unclaimed. I mean, it's ancient. No one's been there in several years, as far as we can tell.
Several years? Well, that means somebody must have found it. It's strange because the natives don't know how to work metal. Why would there be a mine there?
Well, this predates the natives by... I mean, this thing is ancient.
With elven writing.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean elven writing? That doesn't make any sense.
I know, sir. We're still kind of trying to get our minds around it ourselves. Like I said, the deeper regions of it are still yet unexplored, as we had to retreat and regroup.
I've heard some people talk about discovery of some elvish trinkets, but it's all nonsense.
I'm debating if I want to chime in.
By trickery.
No, no. I mean, this is again, it's just kind of a cursory.
No, I don't want to say anything. I don't like them.
I should say, look at these mines, and it does appear there's elvish writing, and I said before, it is quite well made. Like the walls are smooth and formed as opposed to just like a rough, a
Do I
rough
keep it
cave.
to myself?
Roll persuasion.
Oh boy. Here's where we go off the rails. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
He says, how did you find out about this?
We just kind of stumbled across it. One of us, not present, one of our companions was just kind of scouting out in the areas around SaltMarsh and stumbled across the entrance.
Who was it?
She goes by the name of Solus. I don't know if you've met her.
Oh, I have met her.
Okay.
She's, yeah. She's not a serious person.
Oh, I mean, I could see that, yeah.
Be honest, this sounds like a setup to me. I think she led you there in order to make you believe in these fairy tales. Is she connected with any group? I bet she is.
As far as we know, no, but I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I would look into that. There's all kinds of strange intrigues and manipulations going on. Which leads me to my next question. What are your plans for the immediate future?
We're just gonna kind of head out of town and just kind of do some more surveying of the lands around SaltMarsh to see maybe if we can find another one of those caves / mines. Like, I don't want to call it a mine. I feel like it's more of a crypt, in all honesty.
All right, enough about this mine.
Okay.
I can see that this is this is some sort of what do you call it? Red herring. But you really shouldn't devote your time to this nonsense.
DM, can I
Looking for
tell if he's trying to brush it off because he's hiding something?
Yeah, I want to
Ooh,
try
good
and
call.
see if he's. Yeah, I want to see if he's trying to divert our attention away from that
Yeah.
you can roll insight.
lab. Like,
One thing I'm good at, I always suck at. 13.
I know
22.
how that feels.
There isn't anything that I mean, he's not flashing any kind of tell. I mean, he actually was acting pretty nervous when you got there, but he doesn't seem to be more agitated when you brought that up. He seemed kind of like interested when you first brought up the fact that you might have found a mine, but when you started talking about like the straight walls and like the elvish writing and artifacts and whatever, he just became dismissive. But he didn't seem to have been acting more nervously when that happened. I mean, he's been looking straight at you.
So it's
he
something
hasn't
that he's
been
probably
playing
heard
with
about
it.
before. Maybe he's heard about before. Maybe.
I mean, in general, those who know him well, which I guess among you is probably mostly Drazer. I think that he's a pretty pragmatically minded person, and he doesn't generally have time for like a lot of
Idle projects.
idle projects, fluffy business.
He's looking for straight and narrow, direct to the now, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, your sense is that he's probably heard stuff about, like, abandoned elvish artifacts before, and for whatever reason, he doesn't seem to buy it. But you don't, like, see anything obvious that would suggest to you that he is hiding something
Gotcha.
regarding that.
He just wants to move on from this bullshittery.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He wants.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay. Straight to the point. I like this guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
What he found about that metal you gave him a while ago. The same metals that you were playing with earlier.
Oh, we gave him some of that?
Yeah, a long time ago. Before we left SaltMarsh, we went down to Tribor.
Okay.
Oh, you did give him some, right? So, yeah. He does say that, yeah, he probably brings that up, actually. He says, I did look into... What did you give him?
Some small piece of some of that metal somewhere.
Oh, but you don't remember what it was exactly?
No, I don't remember at all.
It was one. Yeah, we found it off of beforehand. Is when we fought the pirate guys.
It was like a ring or something, earring.
Yeah, an earring or a nose ring or something like that.
Earring sounds familiar.
Yeah. He says, did you tell him where you got it?
No, we said we found this. We just told him it's an interesting metal we found. We couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah. He does say that this earring you gave me earlier, that is interesting. I had some of my people take a look at it, and they did conclude that it was very similar to what they used to call orichalcum.
Orichalcum.
Ooh, interesting.
Fair enough.
Have any? Do your people know if it has any special properties as compared to other metals?
Oh yeah, it is highly valuable, and it is said it can be enchanted into the most wondrous of items. But
Yeah.
the question is where it actually comes from. That earring you gave me, where did you get it?
Tell him we got it off of Kothar when he died.
Gothar. Gothar was a lizard, right? Question is where he got it. Well, he used to associate with a lot of sailors, so it could come from anywhere. But it's true that we don't see a lot of it. It is quite rare. But yeah, so we're going prospecting where?
Oh, we're basically just kind of planning to head out a little west of SaltMarsh, and also to kind of see if we can find pick up the trail of Sambala again. and his crew are still active in the area. It would probably be beneficial to put an end to that once and for all.
I would actually feel safer if you were nearby.
Safe? Do you feel like you're in danger?
Well, yeah. I am under investigation. Couple of shipments that I sent out in the last month. People carrying it have been subjected to attack. And there's a lot of unsavory looking types around town.
Yeah, I mean, it is SaltMarsh. People kind of come and go. Do you have any idea of who's perpetrating the attacks on your shipments as of yet?
Well, originally I thought it was Sally trying to get back at me ever since he was kicked out of town. Now I'm not so sure. Unless he's formulated some clever plan to be able to come back into SaltMarsh. See, humans are jealous. They just they can't stomach the fact that I'm successful.
I'm just gonna be hitting out.
Algalon chuckles a bit.
Sebastian gets sick and tired of all the racism.
I mean, I'm a human too. You just kind of get used to it. Okay,
So-
fair enough. So you'd feel better if we kind of stayed closer to town? I take it.
Yeah. If any monkey business starts, it would be good to have you nearby. I know I can trust some of the city watch, but I am far from certain that I can trust most of them.
Okay.
I want to ask him about Baldwin Sharp, which is the guy that replaced Sally on the council. If he's known who he's been hanging out with.
He's proved to be a big disappointment. I expected a lot more out of him. That's why I invited him to take Sally's seat on the council. But ever since that happened, he's just been doing me dirt. Along with the others. I didn't expect it from them either.
I tell him that you might want to watch the Baldwin guy. He may be the one attacking your shipments. He's been kind of coercing with some questionable people.
Oh yeah? Like who?
Some more people that have like the fishy eyes like he does, and he kind of goes and hides from, goes out and disappears for a while with them.
Where does he disappear?
We lose track of him. Like he goes to the bars and then he goes off with them, and then we lose track of him after that.
Yeah, see, these fishy people, they started appearing shortly after he came to town. I don't know what that's about. But, yeah, I'm starting to not feel very secure in this town. Honestly, I thought I had it in my pocket, but now my cousins and my associates, they're looking around for a possible move to another town because things here are getting very, very fishy.
Okay. I mean, I'll definitely keep my eyes open.
So, yeah, I'd like to have you nearby, but I also need you to be on your best behavior, because if anything happens, yeah, this group was almost sent out of town once, and I stood up for you. I had your names cleared, but I fear there's more of that down the road. So you need to conduct yourself in an exemplary fashion.
Will do. And yeah, if there's definitely someone working against you, they're probably going to try to get rid of us, I would assume.
Yeah, and once they get rid of you, then I'm completely exposed.
Understood.
Well, I have my family, of course, but I certainly don't want them as the objects of the slings and arrows of evil fate, as they say.
Sounds like it'd be a good idea for you to lay low for a little while. Is there any way you can...
I am laying low. I'm hardly leaving my compound. That's why I have those guards outside.
I'm saying maybe even sneak out of your compound if you can and kind of hide somewhere else. Like maybe out at our farm or something.
Yeah, your farm is not walled.
No, it's more the security would be no one suspects that you'd be there. Yeah, I mean it's not really a defensible position.
Also, to say that you would not be noticed when leaving his own compound. There is no reason to say that there are not ears in these walls right now.
If need be, I can impersonate you, and we could sneak you out.
What are you saying? What ears? What walls? What are you insinuating?
What am I insinuating? Well,
yes.
If you are in charge of these shipments, and you are well aware of where these shipments are going, then someone around that line must have had a little bit of a ear to ear with whoever is against you. I'm seeing maybe one of your own is not actually one of yours.
It's possible.
He
have you had any
his fist on the table and looks at you intently, and he says, "Tell me what you know."
I'm saying that if you have recently brought in any new intakes, or anyone that might be related to anyone that you have wronged in the past, I know full well what it means to have vengeance, and it does not feel good, but it is always bursting. So, I see that even though you are looking on the outside of your compound, perhaps looking inside is also a decent idea.
As the people on the inside are my family and dependents. You don't know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly what happens when monsters kill monsters. I've lost my family well before I even remembered their names. I can't even remember mine. I know exactly what it means to turn on brother against brother. So, do not give me any talk about family. I've lost everything that I've known, except for one.
He gets up and storms over to the door that you came through, and he shouts, to the guy who brought you, his cousin presumably, "Ulrich, this interview is over. Escort them out."
Okay.
And then leaves by the door in the back.
Well, that went well. Shall we, gentlemen?
Yes, please.
I'll make my way out.
All right. So, all right. So this is at least based on your plans. Your last night before leaving. So if there's anything that you want to do, I mean, assuming that you want to carry through with this plan, then you can do it now. Otherwise, I'm assuming you're leaving on the following morning.
Yeah, I won't be that far away from town. Hopefully, nothing happens while we're gone. What are you saying, DM? It's about a little under a day's travel to get to the Lizardman?
Yeah.
Okay. I got nothing. Maybe do I want to buy some more? No, I've got 54 bolts. I don't need any more bolts. I mean, I'm good. Anyone else?
Minotaur's good.
I'm fine.
Alkalin's good.
All right. So you're going to leave the following day, yes?
Yeah, early as possible, I would think.
Before that, actually, is everybody feeling good and healed up?
We just had a long downtime. I would assume everyone would be back up to full.
I will say I do apologize for my outburst in there. I'm not sure what came over me.
Oh, I mean, it's fine. He was being rather obtuse with that thought, but I mean, great organizations have been brought down from within before. I think you'd be a fool not to at least consider it.
Treason, has there ever been any bad connections in his family that you know of?
Not really. It's been a war between them and Sally's, and Sally's came in and shot everyone up and tried poisoning everyone, and it's been a fairly large number of outside forces attacking inside.
The idea is not exactly out of the question.
You are
Oh,
not
it's fine.
wrong.
He's on edge because I think he pretty much assumed once Sally was dealt with, things would be going a lot smoother for him, and they're not. So possibly Sally was just an agent of someone greater.
However, Sally did get away, if I remember, so he always has that loose end.
Yes. But I think it would be wise for me not to talk to him in any more future conversations.
I very much enjoyed your conversation with him.
All right. So you will leave from the farm the following morning. Which way are you taking out of town? I mean, technically you're not in town because you're outside the walls.
Okay.
But you would have to cross the river if you don't want to come into town. Somehow.
Is there a river crossing to the north of town? Or would it basically, do we have to go through town?
There isn't a crossing. Cohen's neighbors do have a boat, so you could have them ferry you across if you want to do that.
Probably be a good idea, so people don't see us leaving and decide to strike at that time.
Okay. I guess you also haven't gone that way before because, like once you cross the river, I mean, there's a road that runs along the north side of the river that goes to, what's it called? Sanctuary. But like north of the road is basically the marsh. So, I mean, you wouldn't have to cross a huge chunk of it, but I guess you would be in the marsh, for at least a half hour or longer.
Okay, I mean, that's not so bad. I mean, what do you guys think? Should we do that, or should we just go through town?
Well, if we're seen leaving, it would be basically what the people are waiting for. We did say
Yeah, I would-
yesterday that once we leave, he is vulnerable.
Yeah, I would avoid town.
Okay. Yeah, let's get the ferry and we'll trek along the outside of town then. And then I guess
All
head
right.
for the mansion, basically, and go from there.
Okay. So you get ferried across the Signet, and then I guess someone should roll survival for getting you through this swamp
Alright.
as you head toward the mansion.
That is my specialty.
As soon as we leave town, I'm gonna put the Frond necklace on.
Okay. No, good job.
Hooray!
All right, so yeah, you make your way around several of these dank pools. Yeah, a lot of them look like the kind of pool that the frogmen came out of. For those that were there, which I think just means Drazer. But yeah, you find your way to the coast, like past the Saltern, so kind of like outside the aura of human habitation, and you make it to the mansion. So
Should we keep carrying on? How's the weather holding up here so far, do you?
just what I was.
Algalon will Druid craft to see what the weather's gonna be like in the area for the next 24 hours.
Thank you, Agua.
You're welcome.
You think there is going to be a light rain in the evening, and it is kind of overcast. It has been since you left.
It appears you were right, Minigard. Those clouds will rain.
Remember, make sure you got your cloaks on. Last thing we need is exhaustion setting in.
Yep. All right. So, are you stopping in at the
No, I
mansion,
think-
or are
we
you
should-
just continuing on to the river to the north, which is where the lizard folk compound is?
I think just press on, no? Anyone want to
Okay.
stop at the mansion?
Not today, no.
Okay.
You do, as you're at the mansion, see an inordinate number of seagulls flying overhead. But,
Algalon stares at one of them, nods and smiles.
okay. There is an eagle that you've seen before.
I was about to say, does this look familiar?
Yes, that appears as if out of nowhere, and captures one of the seagulls in its claws, and the rest of them disperse.
Algalon laughs.
All right. So, despite the dampness of the day, your journey to the north along the coast appears to otherwise be uneventful, and you find yourself near the trails that leads to the lizard folk warren.
As soon as we get to the tree line, Minagard will look back towards the manor, and we'll just look up at Algalon for a second on his shoulder. Just
Have you ever thought about the concept of flying?
Yes, I have. I thought I
Have
could
you ever tried?
achieve. I thought I could achieve it once. It did not end well.
Hold on tight for a second.
and I will jump. So essentially, I will jump 18 feet in the air because I can jump 6 feet in the air times by 3. So I will jump 18 feet just into the air and let him enjoy it for a second.
Oh, this is falling. Okay.
Who remembers how to undo things on Chrome? Only erase this.
I mean, Control Z.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go.
All right, so you're just gonna like head to their door.
Yes, I believe we're gonna head to where we originally entered the first time.
Okay. And what do you do when you get there?
Just knock.
Okay.
Minagard is gonna put Algalon down and just take a few steps back. Probably like maybe 10 to 15 feet, and he'll drag Sebastian with him.
Drag.
It might be best if the ones who have actually talked to these people before talk to them again.
Okay.
Okay, so Minagard and Sebastian are kind of hanging back.
Yeah.
All right. So, as the door opens, we're gonna take 5 minutes.
Okay.
As the door opens, Minagard will put Sebastian on his shoulder instead.
Oh. Man, I had spells prepared for combat on the way here, and I thought we were gonna get a rest in, and then I was gonna get enhanced ability, and then throw it on Ralston. Whoops.
I guess we're going right in. Fucking hell.
Going in raw.
We got lucky.
Yeah, we shall see. All right. We'll be back in like 5 to 7 minutes.
All right, sounds good.
Sounds
All right.
good. Say we just finish up and then haul ass back to town.
Oh,
Yeah.
Were you there when we were at the mansion and an eagle shows up and eats one of the seagulls?
Yeah, that was right before I left.
Okay.
What's the significance of the eagle?
It's something I did before I met up with you guys.
Okay,
Oh.
okay.
I thought it was Solace.
No. And then Minagard said, "Hey, Algalon, have you ever tried to fly?" And then he leapt 18 feet in the air on top of his massive 7 feet already. I'm on his shoulders, right?
Yep.
So, and then
Have you ever heard the concept of flying before? Boof!
that's not flying. This is falling with style.
Exactly.
Let's also
I
not forget
swear.
too that. Oh, go ahead.
If I end up getting some flying boots, I am so dragging 2 people along with me.
Oh yeah.
Ah, God. All right. I'm happy I got these boots. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got
'cause
some more maneuverability.
you can only. It says you jump 3 times your normal jump, right?
Yep.
And jump is based on strength. My strength is -1, so it does me no good except for give me an extra 5 feet of movement.
But it specifies it doesn't do anything for the landing though. So aren't you like if you can jump super high, aren't you then in the area of fall
Length?
damage when you land?
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, 18 feet plus 7 feet is 25 feet. That's like 2.5 stories. He can handle it.
That's a straight up like high jump. I have full intentions just to do a full on like Hulk
like long jump.
Chum, chum, chum.
Oh yeah.
You see, you weigh quite a bit. It might be interesting to just like
Wait a minute,
when we
how
get into a
much?
fight,
Oh,
try to like an
yeah.
elbow drop or something.
Oh yeah. Currently Minigard is 324 pounds, not including the armor that he's currently wearing.
Yeah, dude. That'd be some
Yeah,
decent damage.
he's currently wearing like he's currently 400 pounds or something like that.
Nice. Let's not forget, also I guess we haven't really discussed this with Minigard, or maybe Minigard, but not Sebastian. I think we said something to Algalon too, or well, Algalon's the one who knows. He heard rumors that Krug is in fact the one who was selling weapons to the natives.
That I was not aware of.
That might be part of the reason why he's getting nervous right now. Like maybe he feels like someone's catching on to him. I mean, entirely possibly setting us up to take the fall for that. I mean, technically we're currently doing that right now.
Yep.
I know, which is why I'm like thinking, wait a second. Why the fuck are we doing this shit again? Oh right, yeah, to save your asses.
Yeah, but to be fair, well, it's technically for Drazer because they made some kind of pact with him or something. You remember Drazer?
Really?
Like it was something with the fire and shit.
Yeah, that was to make the deal binding, I guess. And to spare our lives, we are the new arms dealers.
Oh shit.
Yeah, something. I don't know if it's like some kind of magical binding, but just to be on the safe side.
Could be totally just BS, but you know.
Right. We are, how you say, lords of war. Yeah, Algalon's not happy about this at all.
Oh no, I don't think he would
Not
be.
at all.
I think to be perfectly honest, full intentions, I just drop the fucking weapons and then we book it.
Yeah, no,
Unless
I
there's
want to get
some
this
sort
over
of
with and get back to
reward.
town as soon as possible.
Unless they have some sort of reward, which I don't think they will. But I want to get the fuck away from here as quickly as possible so we don't get caught.
Yeah, like if they're
Yes.
giving us 10 times the cost because it's illegal for them, sure, that's somewhat worth. But even then, Algalon doesn't care about money.
Oh no.
Is any kind of monetary reward in this where it was just them let us live and we do this for them?
Yeah, basically. Oh, and we'll keep your wizard.
Yeah. Kept our wizard.
Yeah.
You can keep your wizard. We got a new one.
A new trade token, yep.
Yes.
Hey, we can talk to the orcs and trade the orcs this wizard. Then we got a wizard with every race.
Nice.
Oh, no, that's a
That's
horrible
good
idea.
thinking.
Alright, we're back.
Okay. So just kind of full disclosure, I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know how Ivan specifically decides on XP, but I'm guessing completing this quest will give us a little XP. And I really, really want to get at least 145 XP as soon as possible.
You should have started killing some seagulls, man.
I guess, yeah, you're right. I could have.
There's a whole bunch right there at the mansion.
Probably should have. You're right.
Could have killed Solus. That's a CR4. Like, CR2, I think, actually. You'd be fine. Yeah, that's a good amount of XP.
Character-wise, I could have justified it like this party ain't big enough for 2 rangers.
Right. You brought us to a death trap. How dare you?
Exactly. What's kind of interesting having, because I'm more like the old style ranger and he had all the new variant stuff.
Mhm.
Interesting to see how those interacted.
Ah, yes. Gloomstalker Ranger. One of the most standard combinations. And then there's Assassin Rogue. Yeah. Then there's School of Evocation Wizard. There's Bear Druid Barbarian. Totem of Bear, I meant. That's a good. Or Berserker, I guess, would be the more standard Barbarian.
seems like that level gain made him a shit ton more tanky.
Yeah, it's one of the top 5 most busted characters in the whole game of D&D is the bear totem, bear, druid, barbarian. So
really?
dumb.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I think it's like the number 3 or number 2, depending on who you talk to, most busted combination in D&D.
No, it's lost a bit of its bustedness with how this game runs, considering how rest restores stuff, you know.
Right.
I've heard a lot of talk about coffee lock too, whatever the hell that is.
Yep.
Imagine some
Infinite spells. Just infinite spells. No, don't worry about
That's
spell
handy.
slots. You don't have to. Nope. Just cast whatever you want whenever you want. It's
Oh shit.
warlock and sorcerer. Yeah. It's stupid. I have banned it from 3 of my campaigns. This last one, the one in Tomb of Annihilation, I let somebody do it because I didn't think he would be able to keep up with the numbers. And he ended up dying at like level 3, so I didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, the Tomb of Annihilation.
Mm-hmm.
Catching your stream every now and again. That is a very brutal module.
Oh, yeah, they finally went down to level 2, so this weekend they'll be exploring level 2.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Progress.
It took them like 3 months to go down to level 2.
Is anyone in your party still on their original character?
2 people, I think. There's Nanter and Frogwin. Yeah, I think those are the only 2. Technically, Roger is his original character, but he didn't start with the group. He started later, but he hasn't lost a character yet.
Oh yeah.
By the way,
Curse the Strahd group.
Echo Knights are dumb.
I've been wanting to play it, like ever since I've been reading up on like a bunch of different classes. I want to play an Echo Knight so bad.
They're
It
so
seems so
dumb.
fun.
One thing I did finally, because I did some research into it because he was doing some stupid things. I'm like, there's no way that's possible. The Echo is an object. It's not a creature. As long as you remember it's an object, that makes it a hell of a lot more fair.
Okay.
Because there's things that say, you know, when a creature, like flanking, for example, or casting bonuses abilities, or moving things, teleportation, all kinds of things say specify creature.
Oh, you can't flank with the Echo? That was
It's not a creature, it's an object.
Oh, okay. So I thought, like, because you can attack with it at any given time. But
Mhm.
yeah, if I guess it's an object, you couldn't flank.
Yep. But because it's an object, you can telekinesis and catapult it. I guess that's a bonus, but
a little ridiculous to me that you can basically endlessly create echoes. It's just like taking the attack action is what is limited. Have as many, you can put down as many echoes as you want.
so I think it's only one at a time.
One at a time, but I'm saying like you can just keep laying it down over and over and over
Yes.
again.
Yeah, they have your AC and 1 hit point, but once it's gone, yeah, just take an attack and bring it back out for free.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. And then Roger is a Rune Knight, so I have an Echo Knight and a Rune Knight. And Rune Knights are dumb too. He just gets passive advantage on his perception checks, because why not?
What?
Damn, that's handy.
Yep.
No, how does it get that? I don't remember it saying anywhere where it gets advantage on perception checks.
It may not be perception, maybe something else, but I think it's Storm Rune.
That's Arcana.
Oh, that's why he wants to keep doing it. Arcana, that's right. Okay, still. Passive advantage on Arcana checks is not bad in a Tomb of basic magical evil.
That seems handy.
Yeah.
I was actually going to play an Echo Knight in one of my games, but until the DM banned the entire Tasha's book halfway into the game.
Echo is Wild Mount.
No, I'm sorry. It was
Rune
after
Knight.
everyone already made stuff with Tasha's that he banned the book after like 4 months.
Gotcha. Tasha's such a good book.
Yeah,
I want to make a sidekick character. Like that's my character as a sidekick.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand why he did say was something was if you want a chance to at least talk to him, because he broke like every single player's character at that point.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, you kind of want to bring that up before you ban it.
Or at least talk to people before you ban
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And he seemed surprised that people got upset.
Yep.
It eventually ended with him just nuking the campaign and kicking everyone from the game.
Oof.
All right.
Welcome back.
Yes. All right. So the door opens, and you see a couple of lizards armed with what seem like stone-tipped spears. So they hiss at you, and they seem to be motioning with their spears for you to stay where you are.
Okay. Greetings. May we speak with your shaman? They can
With a
understand.
delivery for Queen Otakin.
So, yeah, one of them turns and walks back, and the other one just kind of like stands there at the opening, blocking it. Are you gonna stand there and wait?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, after a while, either that one or one that looks a lot like him comes back, and they motion you to come inside.
Okay. Well, fellas, you ready? Get this over with.
Not really, but okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll be the first one. I'll follow him inside. Or walk inside, rather.
Okay. So,
As I can't see, I'm going to produce flame in my hand.
okay.
And the guy's just gonna like wave from behind.
Do you want us to just like wait out here while you do that, or
I would say yes until we inform them that you're with us and get you permission.
gotcha.
They seem very proud people.
Yeah. All right. So they take you inside, and as you follow them, they appear to go this way. There's a few more of them arrayed at various points in the hallway, and they take you over here to this door.
Okay. Because I'll just kind of be standing, watching them for cues and whatnot.
Okay, so yeah, they open this door. And they take you into a large, well-fashioned hall where there are a bunch of them arrayed around what looks like kind of a big reed chair or throne. And there is what appears to be the queen sitting on it. And there are a bunch of apparently elderly looking lizards standing next to her. Missing scales. One of them is missing an eye. So, once you're there, she says in Mercoin, "You have returned."
Yes. Yes, Your Majesty, I assume, as per our agreement.
Have you brought that which you agreed to bring?
We have, and I kind of glance at Drazer because he's holding the bag.
Yep, Drazer will start taking stuff out.
Okay, so altogether, what is it that you've brought?
I'll put in the chat, the Roll20 chat. So 39 spears and 11 daggers, which is the 50 items they wanted.
So one of the bigger armed lizards, well, probably several actually, accept what you have taken out of the bag, and they bring the items to the queen. She inspects it. Well, she doesn't inspect all of them, but she inspects several of the spears and several of the daggers. And then she says, "No swords."
Yeah, they cost a little much.
Yeah, no, we apologize. This is kind of what we could get on such short notice. You have to realize this is not exactly, by our laws, legal what we're doing here.
I am aware. Still, swords and what you call morning stars, those would have raised you higher in our eyes.
Those also would have raised suspicion.
Well, you have fulfilled the minimum of your bargain. Therefore, our accounts are square.
It's appreciated. And not to pry, Your Majesty, but last when we spoke with one of your shaman, we were curious, what enemy are you facing that you are arming yourselves such?
They call themselves Sahagun.
I knew it. Sorry.
Okay, the threat from the sea. Okay. Some sort. I kind of look at Algon. What is that? Like some sort of fish person?
Kind of. I haven't seen one. I just heard sailors talk about it. But yes.
They live under the big water.
Has this been an ongoing threat to you and your people, or is this kind of something that's happening more recently?
We have never been on the best of terms, but we have not had dealings with them much, as my people are amphibious and mostly stay on the land and frequent the rivers and ponds. But over the last year, as you say, they have preyed upon us. I do not know why.
It'd be worth looking into.
Were you encroaching their shores?
No, as I say, we do not enter the big salt water very much. They have come up on the land. They have held our people and our young.
Seem like they want something from you, or are they trying to
Sorry,
kind of
above
go
board
ahead.
DM. The mansion is north of SaltMarsh, and the mansion was on the edge of the ocean, or around it.
Yes.
And then we went west
Right on
from the mansion to here, right?
You went mostly north.
Mostly north. So this place isn't too landlocked. It's not on the coast.
No, this place is also on the coast.
Oh, it is on the coast. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Ral.
do you feel like they're just, do they want something from you, or are they trying to push you out of your territory? Do you have any idea what their goal in ramping up these attacks is?
They want our land. They are monsters. They want to wipe us from the face of the earth.
You don't know really why they want to do that? It's just something they're doing now?
If they are indeed monsters and animalistic in nature, there's only, at least from my past, and pardon if I'm out of line, but I appear to be leaving their home because they themselves may be driven out of their home and they're looking for new land. That would be my guess. So the real question might be, what is driving them? If you are not aggressors, right?
We are not. We are a peaceful people.
I'll turn to Ral. Maybe somebody's driving these Sahagun for some reason out of the waters.
Yeah, that's where my thought is too. Algalon.
Those who supplied us before you disrupted their business would ask similar questions. They always want to find reasons, but these creatures are not reasonable. They are ever hungry, and they worship an evil god.
Do you know this deity's name?
I believe they call it Sekola.
Have I heard of Sekola?
I'll give you a roll, but it's highly unlikely.
Fair enough. Nope.
No. But Since you are so curious about their motives, perhaps you should make a foray.
Open an investigation into your connection with the...
Into their underwater lair. It would only be fair, because you have also killed my people, and now we may not have enough to repel their attacks, even with these new weapons.
I mean, that's something we could try to look into, but we don't do too well underwater. I mean, like, I don't know how we would reach their lair.
Oh, I might be able. We can talk.
I thought that you were resourceful. This small one, I believe, has a way.
I do. Yes, you're very wise.
What, can you tell us the location of their lair? Or the entrance to it?
I don't think they would know. Am I correct?
Like
we
general
know
area.
the direction in which it lies. But I have not been willing to risk the lives of my people to approach their fortress.
Fortress? Hi.
Lair, fortress. I do not know your language well enough to use the proper term.
Okay.
In what direction are they from here?
They are into the sea, to the east.
And this may be too much to ask, but do you have any idea on time or distance to get there?
It is perhaps a half sun of swimming.
Okay, well, we'll definitely need a boat.
Alright, that is far, but I can definitely see what I can do.
Your Majesty, this sounds an awful lot like a job. Do you offer something as payment for us doing this?
You think payment is in order?
Well, I mean, our previous business is concluded, and this sounds like a rather dangerous task.
You do not feel you owe it to us because of the harm you have done.
I mean, maybe, yeah, I mean, yeah. I suppose you're right about that. Yeah, again, we do apologize for that. When we first came here, we had very little understanding of your people.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely, because, I mean, this is going to take some preparation. We're going to need a boat, because we can't swim as well as you can. I'll definitely just bring it up to my colleagues, and we'll try to form a plan here.
Oh, speaking of which, we have 2 additional waiting outside. I thought it rude to bring them to you without announcing.
Are they useful?
One is, the other's a human.
Why would you mention that now? Of all the times.
Humans may be useful. You had a human companion.
Oh, yes.
I just out of character. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you realize I am human, right?
Yes. We do not judge other people by their
I
birth.
appreciate that.
Except Sahagun. They are pure evil.
That sound nice.
What do they taste like?
They are quite tasty.
I believe you had some last time you were here, Drazer. Was there? Did you
Oh,
not
the
have
one-
one in the kitchen?
The one that tastes like fried fish?
Yes, but very thick, very meaty. I highly recommend. If you eat of their flesh, you will gain their strength and their guile. But you should be careful to prepare it properly, because eating improperly prepared Sahagun meat may drive you to evil.
So a win-win.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That seems to be entirely lost on her.
Okay, I mean, the preparation for this will take us some time. We're gonna need to secure a boat.
Bring the others. I wish to look upon them.
Okay, guess I'll take my leave and run and grab them quick.
Okay. So Menegard and Sebastian are escorted in. See a small army of lizard folk arrayed around some sort of authority figure sitting on a
When they
makeshift
approach, Minotaur hold like a finger up, like,
Hold on, we're in the middle of a game.
and I'll just finish rolling the dice. And when we finish our game, I'll go ahead and follow in.
Alright.
Okay.
Having a quick game of Dragon's Dice here.
All right. So yeah, once you're let in to the throne.
So do we both roll at the same time, Minigard?
Yeah, so you roll the D12 and the D8, and you can double your bet, so to speak, if you want to add the D6. Which, sure, I'll throw in another gold. D6. So, 16.
50-50 to beat it. Sure. Go big or go home.
Fuck. Okay. Minotaur will gladly push over the 2 gold, throw his hand in the air.
Yeah, but I always lost anyways. Oh, right. Friends still alive down there?
Yeah, I mean, I came with them. I'm like at the entrance, meeting you guys.
Oh, good.
Yeah, everything's fine. Just their leader, their queen. I don't know if that's the proper term for her, but she would like to meet both of you.
Queen? You never said anything about a queen.
I don't know if that's the term she goes by, but she seems to be their leader.
Matriarch might be a good alternate term then.
Yeah, something like that.
Before we head off here, Sam takes one of those gold coins and hands it over to Menegard. Hey, I didn't even put my bet in, so it's only fair that you just get half the bet.
Fair.
I'll take 1 gold off.
All right.
And as I'm leading them through the door, I'm just gonna like kind of say to both of them, just these people have strange customs. Just follow my lead. And then as we're following the lizardmen down back the hallway, I'm gonna walk in like a super exaggerated manner, just to mess with them.
Okay.
And see if they
Is the hallway dark?
The hallways are dark. The throne room was lit with torches.
Alright, so when Sebastian starts seeing this dark hallway, he casts light on his staff.
Okay.
Midgard will try his best to imitate his movements.
Bastion is not imitating for the sake of not really giving crud.
Fair enough. Got one.
Okay. So yeah, you're led into this lit and columned throne room. Yeah, the columns also seem to be made of some sort of thick reed. You can't really distinguish males from females. I mean, I guess you were told that their leader is a queen, but nothing about her, you know,
Ream's leader
makes it it makes it clear that it's a queen. Her voice is kind of deep and husky, but yeah, as you're let in, she scans the two of you, and Minotaur, he says, "I have not seen one such as you before. You are the most interesting creature. What do you call yourself?"
Everyone calls me Minotaur.
Minotaur. What kind of being are you?
Well, I was told by a sweet young thing that I was called a Minotaur. I don't know where I came from. I just know that I am the last one left. From my knowledge.
That is the fate that I am trying to avoid for my people. But you, Minotaur, are from across the sea?
Yes. From what I am aware of, deep into the mountain, from what I am aware of as well. That is where they picked me up, amongst rubble and bodies.
Very sad. I wish, I hope that you are able to find ones of your kind in your life. It is not good to be alone.
I am not alone. She guides me as she has taught me. And I believe that one day I will find her again.
Who is she?
That's for me to know. But
Very
for me, she is my little lady.
Keep your secrets, then, Minotaur.
I will, lizard folk.
I think they're more of an alligator.
Really?
Nothing.
Yeah. And you, she addresses Sebastian. You appear to be a shaman of some skill, yes.
I guess that's a close approximation, yeah. I am a dabbler of the magical arts.
It seems that you have capable people among you.
If you say so.
Why have you joined these others?
Because I am squishy and they look tough.
A fair assessment. Everyone needs protection.
And in exchange for their protection, I promised them help them with the stuff that they have issues with, which seems to be lack of individuals skilled in Arcana, and a little bit maybe of regular academic knowledge.
You are a learned man, then.
I was told I was I was capable of fine studies, yes.
And what is it that you have learned?
I've learned how to influence magical effects into items. That is my particular field of study.
What sorts of items?
Well, weaponry, for one thing.
Oh, goodness, here we go.
You can craft weapons.
I can enchant them. There is a difference, madam.
And what does that do?
Well, you know those iron weaponry you have?
Yes.
The stuff I can make can make those things look like playthings.
So you are a weapon master.
I prefer protection provider, ma'am.
Humans have so many words.
Well, when you make it, madam, it's just that when you say weapon maker, it makes me sound more like someone who's trying to kill people.
And what are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to offer protection to people in these very dangerous lands.
We need protection. Would you make these weapons into not playthings?
Well, that is according to my protectors. I look over to Alagon and Ralston. They're the ones who decided that for me.
We would like to make use of this man.
Okay, and I mean, in what capacity?
He is a crafter. As he says, he can make that which you brought into much more powerful weapons. That is what he professes.
My understanding of that is it's for a limited time. Like, he can definitely do that, but it wouldn't be a permanent boost to the weapon.
Is that so? Human.
God's gonna just like lean into Sebastian here and just like,
Just a reminder, we are intending to leave and forget this right now.
My apologies, no one really caught me up on a lot of stuff.
Right, but we are not intending to do further business from what I know.
Okay, thank you. That would have been nice to know. Okay.
Yes.
You don't want to keep her waiting.
I answer. Then my apologies. It seems I was misinformed. I'm sorry then. My craftsmanship then is still unskilled enough to provide such things here, and it will be many a moon before I am able to actually achieve my future dream of creating more long-lasting stuff.
So, you were boasting.
Many humans tend to do.
Yes, they do.
That is unfortunate.
You know, if you want me to leave, I can leave.
No, you're fine. It's just don't get yourself into more trouble you're already in.
feel like the trouble I'm getting into is stuff that you guys have gotten in trouble with.
If you dare to try, it would keep you here, eyeing your skills, and you would be rewarded.
Forgive me, man, if I'm out of line. But that reminds me. What of the other wizard?
Ah, yes, our guest. He is well treated. Why do you ask?
Oh, I thought his release was contingent upon the completion as well of this trade.
Perhaps you can make an exchange. You can collect him in exchange for this other crafter.
Wizard for wizard, huh? That seems like an even deal.
That's when.
That's a funny joke, guys.
That's very funny. Minigod's reaching forward, like pulling Sebastian back and behind him.
Yeah, no, you're ready.
Are you willing, Sebastian? Do you want to fight this right now?
No.
Okay, excellent. Then get the fuck behind me.
That's when he was also quite boastful. He cannot make weapons, but claims he owns much property here.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. I don't think we will need to trade right now. We will discuss it, and I definitely foresee us working in the future more now that I better understand you and your people. And I don't mean to speak for everybody, like Ral and Minigard and Drazer here, but I do understand what you're going through. Trust me on that.
Yes.
So, no deal.
Not for the human.
For the time being.
For the time
we could
being.
Possibly look into the Swagan.
The Hagoon, yes, I'm very interested in that, actually.
Really, we're gonna deal with those guys? Okay.
I mean, we could trade you now if you want.
Trade.
I feel more.
What?
Why don't we just sell them straight up?
How much do you think I am worth?
What did they have? Those shells or teeth or whatever? How many necklaces for the
seashells.
human?
Yeah, not funny. Not funny.
For that human,
Remember, he can enchant eventually.
for this one, the craft.
Investment.
The craftsman, yes.
The other one is perfectly capable of learning and enchanting. Just needs, as long as he's encouraged to do so, yes.
We shall give you 10 long ones
Oh, wow.
now. And if he is as great as he claims, we would be willing to give you more. But for the other one, we have no use for him. He mostly talks.
Yeah, just kind of keep him for right now, I think is the best plan going forward. But would you care to discuss what we were talking about in regards to the Swagan with our friends here and fill them in?
Yes. What is it that you have in mind?
Well, you wanted us to possibly, I don't know what the word is, maybe infiltrate their lair and kind of...
Maybe scout first, and then decide on infiltration.
Wait, what are we going after?
What are we being signed up for?
nothing's definite yet, but she was requesting that we go and kind of scout out where the Swagan are coming from, like their stronghold or lair.
They're running these people out of their land. The Sahagun are running these people out, and I would like to figure out why, personally.
Okay. I see no issue in tending to that if it's helpful.
The only issue you may have is they are in the ocean.
That is an issue.
Yes, I would
Yes.
imagine.
Yes, because I can't breathe underwater.
I have heard of some magic spells that allow individuals to breathe, but breathing is a minor issue compared to the ability to actually do anything underwater.
Well, technically, all I have to do is punch them. So
Everyone else is the issue. I mean, more often than not here. Going into a territory where the potential enemy has the advantage is a very unwise strategy.
Well, yes, that is why we would gather information.
Yes.
By the way, how long have we? How long has it been since they originally went down?
2 went down. What do you mean?
When Algalon, Ralston.
And you guys went to go talk to the queen.
Yeah. When
Oh,
when was the when? How long has it been since you three originally went down in? Like today?
I can't imagine it's been all that long.
It's been a month.
No.
I thought he meant like right now since we ended.
No,
the
I mean
cave.
like right now, since we've entered the cave.
10 minutes, 5 minutes,
10 minutes?
not long.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
I thought we were like talking hours here. Okay.
Well, I have no issue here. We've done our job here, and if we need to deal with these things, so be it. I have no issue in that. I agree, we do need to take some time.
Yes, definitely. I mean, at the very least, we need to secure a boat.
Oh, yes, do you have boats?
Is there anything I can roll to see if I know anything about Sahagan?
Somebody already tried. I mean, you can roll, but it's highly unlikely.
What do I roll? Nature? Or history?
I suppose it would be nature. History would give you a different kind of knowledge. You remember hearing the name once? Listening to some sailors, but yeah, that's about all you know.
Alright. I at least know they at least seem to be tied to water. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, but sailors also have a lot of legends, so...
Yeah, every legend has a bit of truth in it.
Well, perhaps. But she says, we would like to be kept apprised of your actions in this regard. When can we see you again? Also, we would like to purchase more weapons.
Oh, that may be difficult.
It will take, especially the weapons you're wanting, the short swords and morning stars, that will take us some time to acquire.
How much time? Humans can be resourceful. Those others with whom we had dealings found ways.
Yeah, they had considerably more inns than we did. That would involve us kind of traveling to different cities to spread the purchases out. I kind of like give a sideways glance at Algalon. I mean, it's definitely possible, but I mean, we would need some time. How quickly do you need them?
Time? As I understand it, among your people, everything has a price. What is your price?
I mean, we would need the cost of the weapons covered. DM, can I just kind of draw from general knowledge about how much per short sword and Morningstar we need to pay?
Sebastian will actually just drop that knowledge right on top of you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he makes the stuff here. I'm pretty sure he knows how much it's averagely priced.
Okay. Sebastian, can you give us an estimate?
Yeah. How much do they want here of each?
Your Majesty, how much? How many weapons would you require?
For next consignment, another 50 would do nicely.
All right, so if we're talking 50 of each here, Morning Stars and
Let's just do 25 of each for 50 total.
Yeah, so of course you're talking the small surcharge of 15 gold a pop, and then you want to take in the effect of you want to take in the 50% extra little bit here of it to actually count into for costs of making and pursuing such.
Wow, do you have any idea what he's saying?
Honestly, no. I'm just hoping he spits out a number eventually.
I'm also going to say I'm going to leave at this point. I'm not getting involved in this kind of business.
I know, but I'm just if I make it look convincing enough, maybe they'll not tell you anything.
I'm not getting involved.
I'll start making my way out.
Okay.
I'm ballparking around 9,000. I'm ballparking around 937.5 gold coins.
Just in acquiring.
Well, if we're how much you would want to be paid if we're covering the cost of purchasing and also the extra, it'd be enough to purchase it plus 50% extra for each item, you know?
Okay.
That is 200 long strands. We are prepared to pay 1/4 of that price up front.
How much are these long strands worth?
In your human gold coins, each long strand is 5 gold pounds.
Algalon, listen, you guys can handle this. I'm going with my guard. You guys are the business sailors. I would need to go.
Okay.
Payment go.
I'm hesitant to take payment up front right now because, again, we would have to check and see the availability of these items. I mean, this is a lot of weapons. The people you're dealing with before were full-on smugglers, so they were much better equipped to handle this kind of volume than we are. We will work on it, and we'll expect payment on delivery if we can deliver.
Are you sure? Perhaps 3 strands on the 10. We will give the equal value of 300 gold up front. And as a bonus, we will release your companion and send him home with you.
I guess I can't really speak for the group. Drazer, Algalon, what are you guys thinking right now?
I think we gotta do it.
Yes, I actually agree, as I understand where they're coming from. But the main question, I'm okay with taking this up front, as I don't know how much funds we have to start with. If we can take the cost of buying them weapons first and then waiting for payment later.
Okay. I guess you have a deal, Your Majesty?
No.
Very well. So she hisses something to what appear to be her bodyguards, and they return with a veil and a little box. She has. Hey,
The alchemist.
fuck. Alchemist?
Never mind.
Wow. I could call myself an alchemist. I've been reading Helmont's book. It's chock full of all kinds of interesting information. I think I've learned everything that he knows, that he knew.
Wait, is that the name of the alchemist?
Helmont? Yeah.
So you know how to make the stone?
Well, I know where to look for it.
Oh, yes, we have figured that out. Thank you.
I learned something of its properties.
I would imagine you did. We may discuss that later. Now may not be the time.
Yes, of course. All right. So,
Matron, do you have you don't perchance have boats, do you?
we do not need boats, as we can swim.
Yes, that is what I figured. Wonderful, thank you.
Which would you rather us focus on getting you these weapons as soon as possible, or would you want us to check out the Swagan Fortress as soon as possible?
Cannot do both.
Yeah, but we can't do both at the exact same time. That's what I'm saying. We'll definitely get around to both of them. Just which is more of a pressing matter to you?
So she kind of has a powwow with what appear to be her advisors. There's a lot of hissing. It actually kind of sounds violent to you, but you don't appear to blows exchanged.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. I actually need to go right now. Something's come up. So thank you for the game. All right.
We'll trade you off, don't worry.
All right. We'll
trade you off, yeah. See you next time, man.
Have a good
Bye.
night.
Ral, I actually may be able to answer that one. I believe the more pertinent information would be the weight of the force against them rather than the weight of the force needed to go against.
Probably a good thought.
We can set up a provisional meeting. When can we see you again?
Well, we have something of some pressing business back in SaltMarsh, and we need to go. When we leave here, we need to go back there as soon as possible. Probably pretty soon. It depends on how long we're in SaltMarsh. And we'd also need to secure a boat. So, when would you like us? Like, as soon as we can get free, would you like us to come back?
Perhaps on the next new moon?
Okay. DM, would I roughly know how long that is?
A month.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine.
And if I am able, I will do my best to send word before we get here.
Yes, and we should at the least have those weapons acquired by then.
That would be desirable. Yes. Very well. Good business.
I apologize. What do you call your people?
The name in our language is not pronounceable by you, but you can call us Ogon.
Ogon?
Dogon.
Can you spell that?
Very well. We shall see you in another moon.
Okay. And then as a side DM, did she give us the 300 gold of the long strands or whatever the third payment?
She gave you. I mean, are you gonna count them in front of her?
No, I mean we'll just. I mean whatever.
He
Is it
gave
just
you a coffer, yeah, full of
Okay.
strands of shells.
Okay. Drazer, you want to chuck that in the bag of holding for the time being?
Yeah.
I look forward to our next meeting, Your Majesty, and I hope all goes well.
Very well. I wish you good fortune.
You as well.
Oh, is there any small creature that if were to enter your cave, you would not eat?
She kind of blinks and says, if a creature appears edible, why would we not eat it?
Because I may be able to send a message through one of them to you directly, and I would prefer it if it actually reached its destination.
Ah, I see. You are subtle. Forgive me.
Oh, all good.
What creature would you send?
The fastest would be a bird. Probably not a seagull.
Seagulls are quite tasty.
Yes, I saw those in your kitchen.
But if you send one, perhaps with a special coloration, we will look out for it and avoid snacking on it.
I will do what I can. Wonderful. Thank you.
Farewell.
Razor
Farewell,
Ralston,
Your
shall we?
Yeah. Let's get moving. Just get back to SaltMarsh as soon as we can.
Start to head
All
out.
right. Yep.
We make our exit.
And the guards
Alright.
standing at the passageway looks over at you while exiting.
And now catatonic Sebastian.
Yeah, he just passed out right in front of me. I don't know what the heck happened.
Can you drag him?
I can.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. But by the way, what are we doing now? What have you now sent to?
Oh, this is Avel. He was a previous member with us.
Yeah. So he, when he appears, he's not wearing his headgear, and his horns are prominently displayed.
Mm.
So, yeah, it wasn't so bad being here. Didn't have to hide things about myself. I mean, I guess they're savages, but they're okay.
Are you still in need of the Alchemist's book?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great book. Why?
I was wondering if I could read it.
Well, I suppose I could let you read it. But I do need it back.
Okay. I can do that.
Ooh, we heading back?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Let's go outside and I would like to discuss something.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, as you step out of the warren, Vil continues to chatter, and he says, "You know, it's a curious thing. Lizards are cold-blooded, right?
Right.
Yes.
But we're deep into fall here, and they don't appear to be all that sluggish. And they do seem to live pretty far north.
Yes, I noticed that as well.
Are usually creatures of the tropics, as I understand it. But these ones seem to do okay in the cold. This is why I think that Helmont was probably onto something.
Yes, I noticed that as well. It is strange. I do not believe they're actually lizards or reptilian per se.
Oh, they're reptilian. Just look at their heads.
Hmm.
They look like crocodiles. Have you ever seen a crocodile before?
I have, but if one would look at me, many would assume I am human.
He like scratches on his horned head. He says, anyway.
No matter.
Actually, there's a really big one that lives around here. Really big. Like 30 feet long. I think it's their god.
Oh.
We might want to avoid that.
Yeah, but this is definitely way too far north for a crocodile to live. And I swear I saw it. I think they feed things to it. In that place that we saw with the bloodstains. I think that's where they leave their offerings.
I also believe that is where the stone is.
Maybe.
Do you remember the stone, Rao, that we talked about?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Now that we're outside,
Okay.
so my idea was I can turn into an aquatic creature and swim towards it. I don't know if I could reach there in a day or half day light, I think they said. But if we were to take a boat, we could go out a little bit and then I could scout if needed.
I could use my beast senses, touch a fish, and have him swim out there and search it for us.
Yes,
there you go.
I thought about that. I have that as well. However, I don't believe that they would be able to intelligently understand what's going on or defend themselves if caught.
Then send another one. It's like 50 of them.
Are we moving while we're talking?
I would think
Are we
so,
heading-
yeah.
Are we heading back?
Yeah, we'd get back to SaltMarsh as soon as we can.
Alright.
All right.
Once we get out of the range, I'll just like look at the rest of the group giants.
So, are we selling more weapons to them?
It seems so, yes.
Thought it was a one and done deal.
Yeah, it was at first, but kind of things have changed. And we do this is before you met us, but our first encounter with the lizard folk, we killed quite a few of them. Just left them somewhat, I wouldn't say completely defenseless, but less able to defend themselves from the Swagan threat now.
Right.
I think ultimately, the Swagan threat, if this is a big threat and they come and push a lizard folk out, I think it's just a matter of time before the people of SaltMarsh, they start attacking the town of SaltMarsh itself.
I am with you. I was with you on this, Minigard. I was not very comfortable with this deal that we had. However, now that I know what I know now, they're just trying to protect their homeland from an invasion of a known force. I believe this is the right thing to do.
Well, we are also coming to realize that we have to now, well, go against the law. Right? There's no avoiding that anymore, is there?
Well, I suppose not, although I think Krug wanted to know if we had anything definitive about the Swagan, so he might be interested in this information as well.
Yes, we brought it up a couple times, like a few times before we met. I still don't trust that guy.
No, neither do I. Not fully, anyways.
Don't trust a man who doesn't trust his own back. He's too overconfident. Too high on his pedestal right now.
Yeah, I think he wouldn't hesitate to throw us all under the cart, so to speak, if his position was threatened. We need to watch out for that.
Well, before anything happens, I say we hurry back. Make sure we don't get into any trouble.
Yeah, let's get back to SaltMarsh as soon as possible. That's the first priority.
All right, so it took you slightly longer than half a day to get here, so it would almost certainly be after dark. You may be risking exhaustion rolls, and well, based on what Algalon said before, it may very well start to rain before you get in. But what you want to do is up to you.
Well, I think we can probably use the main entrance to SaltMarsh when we go back. Correct, guys? I don't think there's a point in us sneaking back in. Well, not sneaking, but using the back entrance. I don't know. I say we just head towards SaltMarsh and see what happens. I guess if it starts to rain and whatnot, we might want to make camp for the night.
What if we ask our lizard friends if we could stay the night?
We still have a little less than half a day. I mean, we should probably try to get as close to SaltMarsh as possible, no?
Okay. I am fine with this.
We make it as far as the mansion? But let's get to the mansion and see, because the mansion is what? Like a couple hours from SaltMarsh?
The mansion is between an hour and 2 hours from SaltMarsh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's try to push to the mansion and then see where we're at once we reach there. And at least if it is raining and cold, at least we have someplace warm to hold up for the night.
That's not
That's my thought.
Okay. All right. So, you make it to the mansion just as it starts to drizzle.
Okay. How much daylight do we have left at this point?
Less than an hour.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think? Should we keep pushing to SaltMarsh or hold up here?
I say we push to Salt.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea. I mean, we have cloaks. If it does start to rain, at least we can keep ourselves warm.
Okay.
All right, then I will. Minigard, you cannot see in the dark, correct?
I cannot.
Drazer, can you?
I'm gonna cast the Produce Flame and have Flame Barbel.
How about this? I will cast Dark Vision and Twin Spell it onto Minigard and Drazer.
That works too.
Sure, that helps. And Drazer, you were a guard at SaltMarsh at one point, correct?
Yes.
Does the city close its gates at night?
Yes, it does.
Oh, so we would. Then we couldn't even ferry across the river because they don't know. Huh? So would they let us in, Drazer, if we hail them at the gates, or is it just it's closed at
They'll
night?
probably request the money.
Oh, probably.
Okay. Well, like given that information, like so we would be able to at least gain access to the city, although it might cost us something.
I think so. I think they'll just request money for it.
Is that accurate? Is that accurate, DM?
What's that?
Even if the gates are closed, we would have to pay some kind of toll or something to enter at night.
Well, normally you pay toll when you enter when the gates are open. Technically, at night the gates are supposed to stay closed.
Okay.
I mean, I suppose Drazer is probably aware that sometimes those rules are bent. But
The gates are only for the walled, right? So isn't the farm outside the walls?
farm is very much outside the walls, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we
I
wouldn't
guess
have to get to the gates.
Okay.
But you would have to cross the river at some point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, we don't have the benefit of the ferry.
Or you would have to, boat to the south of town and then walk from there.
How far across is the river?
The river is like a good 300 feet wide. At least in the place where you crossed it.
I can get us across the river, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
I've never tried this before, but I can try.
Okay.
So you're gonna go the same way through the swamp that you came in the morning?
Seems so, yeah.
Okay.
Should we try the gate and see if they'll let us in? And if that fails, circle around through the swamp, or did we just want to go straight through the swamp?
You mean the bridge?
Okay. Yeah, swamp it is.
All right. So you have dark vision for those who cannot see. So once you get to the crossing, what's the show?
I'm going to wild shape into a crocodile.
Nice.
That has
Okay.
a strength of 15, a swim speed of 30, and can hold its breath for 15 minutes, and I can stay in that form for 2 hours. And I'm
Okay.
going to try and ferry people across.
Is it 2 hours or 1 hour?
At level 4, I am at 2 hours.
Oh. I didn't realize the duration increases. That's handy.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
Yep, half your level.
Okay. I guess I'll hop on Algalon's now crocodilian back.
I can just shape into like a little squirrel and hop on there with you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, just ride on my shoulder just in case, so you don't get washed away in the current.
Yep.
And I'm pretty long. Would Sebastian be able to fit as well? Because they don't weigh too much between Rel and Sebastian.
Sebastian would be able to. Well,
You can't
okay.
do.
So
He has shrink and large, I think.
the drag speed is what? Times 15, or the drag weight times 15?
My strength is 15
Yeah, so you should
as
be
a
able
crocodile.
you should be able to drag 225, I believe. Yeah, I don't know how that goes for Minigard now that the Drazer problem has been dealt with.
Make a separate trip for Minigard at that point, or is he too heavy for even solo?
Well, that's what we're going to find out.
Okay.
How much do you weigh, Minotaur?
How far can
Midgard.
you jump?
So Midgard can jump around about 20 feet.
But how far or wide?
Yeah, distance, not height.
Oh, that's distance.
Can't jump 300 feet.
No.
Once we get to the other side,
20
we could
feet.
borrow that boat too, and bring that over to get you.
Yeah.
Let's just see.
So you can long jump. You can jump your strength score.
Yeah. Well,
So my strength
Normal.
score. Oh, so my strength score would be 16. So
Multiplied by
42
3.
feet.
yeah, that's still not enough to jump across the river, though.
That's still one hell of a ways.
How many times can you do that?
Oh, definitely.
DM,
Yes.
Here we go.
can I use, while on Minigard's back, shape water to freeze the water beneath where he lands and have him jump across the river? As it's a cantrip. And it has a area of 5 foot square.
What's the range on that?
30 feet.
And you can just like freeze.
Mhm.
I mean, the question is whether you'd be able to freeze enough of the landing pads all at once.
Well, I would do it as he goes. So right before he lands, I would try and freeze the water under him so he can land on it. And then he jumps again and then freeze under it. This is a cantrip.
Yeah, I
So,
understand.
Yeah.
You can try it. I guess what the potential drawbacks would be is, I mean, first of all, it's a slippery surface. So I
Yep.
mean, he might have the distance to jump, but whether he'd be able to remain on that block of ice is another question. And plus, I guess like the block of ice is still floating in water and kind of like melting as you go.
Yep, basically. It doesn't magically stay frozen. So
Yeah.
those are the
why don't you
two
just-
choices. I can try and ferry you across, or we can try and ice bridge you across, as it were.
No, just get Drazer and I, or me, just one of us across, and then we can go borrow that boat and just ferry everyone across and put the boat back.
Okay. Is that what you do?
I think that's probably the best course of action.
That would be the best course of action.
You want to ruin my fun? Sure.
We can definitely give it a go.
I was thinking we could just create a small iceberg for Minotaur to stand on, and just use a rope and drag him behind the crocodile.
All right. Well,
Oh,
for ruining
I
Avalon's
totally
fun,
down.
the rest of you are now all chaotic evil.
Oh no, I was totally down. I was totally down to try this shit.
Actually, that can work. I can freeze a 5-foot cube. Somebody can tie a rope around the cube. I can turn into an alligator, carry the rope in my mouth, the other 3 on my back, and we swim across.
Well,
Okay.
is that what you do, or do you get the boat?
Do we want to try that?
It's what you guys want to do. I think the boat's probably the safer option, but we can try
I
this. if
say
you want.
what we do is this. I say we got the boat, but we still try Algalon's idea with the ice, and if it doesn't work, we use the boat instead. I can't help but to try to get as far as the north border as I want to.
Yeah. Another potential tripwire is you can't cast the cantrip while in crocodile form.
No, I can cast it first. It stays frozen for an hour, and then we tie the rope around. Then I wild shape.
Right, but I mean,
It's not a
You'd be-
concentration.
but you'd be okay.
Yeah,
but-
just okay. What? Yeah.
I mean, you could create one and then wild shape. The
Right.
problem is you wouldn't have the range to create all of them.
Right. No, this one I'm thinking he just sits on and we drag it across the water with a rope.
Oh, well, that's possible.
This does work too.
Instead of him trying to jump and land and not slip on it, I just create an ice cube boat, and then he gets carried through as I pull it in my crocodilian teeth.
All right. So, is that what you do?
That is my option. My offer. We can try getting the boat if you want, but that requires possibly getting more parties involved.
Yeah, let's leave it up to Minigard.
Anything works, just gotta be across this damn water.
I cast Shape Water to freeze a 5-foot cube, and then hopefully somebody ties the rope, and I'll start to wild shape into a crocodile.
Yeah, I'll use. I guess I'm decent survival, so I'll tie like a decent. Like I'll get it secured to that ice chunk as like best I can with my survival skills.
All right. Why don't you give it a whirl?
Oh boy.
Oh, I should have guided him beforehand. Oh well.
This is where it goes off the rails. Minigard, make sure you hold on to the end of this rope too. I'm not too well versed in tying things to icebergs.
Yes, thank you for raising my confidence on the situation, Ralston. Thank you.
Yes, note anytime, man.
What's your dex, Ralston?
Dex is 18.
Okay. All right. So, Minigard, roll acrobatics. You have the strength. Question is,
acrobatics.
What happens when you land?
Landers,
All right.
you're not jumping, are you?
No.
Yeah, he's jumping. Oh, you're not.
No, he's not
you're just
jumping.
making a little ice boat for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sitting there.
Algalon created the iceberg. I tied our rope as best I can to it, and then I'm advising Minigard to also hold on to that rope.
So there's no jumping involved.
No, sorry.
No.
I guess I got myself overexcited.
I was down for that
wanted to see
too. Don't get me
I
wrong.
wanted to see the execution on the jumping, honestly.
I wanted to see if he could stick the landing.
Nope. I'll be right back. I've got a package on.
All right. So yeah, actually, that works out fairly well. The rope appears to stay secure.
Hey.
And the crocodile swim all of you along with Minigard's ice sled to the other side of the river.
That's why Shape Water is one of the best cantrips in the game.
It is pretty good.
Pretty handy, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, like, if you get really good at it, if you could start, like, crafting ice sculptures.
I was actually going to try and do that to the lizard people, craft an ice weapon for them and give it to them. But didn't get that far. We'll get to that.
So you cross the river and you tromp back to Uncle Cone's farm.
Nice, we made it.
Avel says, "Oh, it's still here. Good to see the old place."
I forgot
Yeah,
Avel
welcome
was
home.
there.
In reality, you didn't, because he's been chattering the whole time.
Right.
Nice.
All right. Well, I guess technically we have 20 minutes left. But I guess Sebastian had to leave. So, I mean, if there's anything that you want to do...
No, I'm good with. I'm just
quick.
cutting out a little.
We can, yeah. Well, like if there's anything that you want to do before you forget about it, that'd be a good way to do it now.
Yeah, I did want to talk to Ral real quick. Maybe if we continue doing these deals with the lizard people, only one or two of us talk to Krug. Maybe Drazer or you and Drazer, rather than bringing the whole band.
Sure. Yeah, we could do that. I don't see why not.
Okay. I don't like him.
Yeah, he has Krug has rather acquired taste. Like in character, I'm kind of like unsure about him, but out of character, I love Krug.
No, he's a great character. Don't get me wrong. Like I hate him, but he's a great character.
Yes.
Wait a second, I'm drowning. What?
No, I was just giving you shit. We made it across, no problems. We're just kind of trying to wrap.
You guys are fine. Just suddenly, just hear a kapoosh from down behind. Suddenly, you realize Minotaur can't swim. No.
Nice. No, we're just
He
kind
can
of
swim.
wrapping things up. If there's anything you want to do, like before we end the set, so we don't forget for next time.
No.
I guess like that stuff is for Sebastian. So I was gonna tell him a couple of things, but since he's not here, I'll just wait till next time.
Oh, we should count how many necklaces we got.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You count the necklaces. You have 60, and they're like a cubit long. In other words, like from your elbow to the tip of your middle finger. Well, if you're a human.
They're roughly 5 pounds a piece, 5 gold pound, like 5 gold pieces a piece.
Each strand, well, at least according to what Udakant said.
Yeah, let's see what we can get for them. Honestly,
worth- Yeah, each strand is worth 5 gold.
If
Each of
you
these.
can find a good place to sell these, it might be a decent form of income, but also a risky ass form of income.
yeah, I think I should utilize disguise self, and we should probably sell them not in SaltMarsh.
You have seen them in use.
Oh, we have. Okay.
Yes.
Goblins.
So it's not like super uncommon for the people of SaltMarsh.
No,
to have them.
no. I mean, like, you see people just on regular market day, like regular humans, use these as a means of exchange. So, yeah, I mean, they seem to be more or less standard currency, along with gold and silver and copper.
Oh, very nice. Makes things considerably easier. I thought it was gonna be.
Right.
Yeah.
Did Avil let me borrow the Alchemist book?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll ask him where he's going to be so I know where to send it back to.
Well, I guess he's gonna bum around the farm for now, since he's got nowhere better to go.
All right, just don't get arrested. Wink,
Like,
wink.
well, yeah, I mean, I guess he'll say, wow, the farm seems pretty safe. No one's been arrested there yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess I'll, maybe look to get myself set up here in town. Maybe, see if that apothecary shop is for sale.
Ooh, there's an idea.
That is an idea. Wonderful.
Yeah. Are you gonna read the spellbook?
The spell book?
Was that
That's
you?
for Sven.
Oh. What were you asking me about, Algalon?
It was
The second
didn't he have a? Oh, I guess the Alchemist book was a spell book. I thought it was more of a.
No. That Alchemist book is just a normal book. The spell book is another book we found in there.
Yeah, he has an or did he have the Alchemist book? Or did you have it in the bag? razor.
I think we had it in the bag.
Oh,
Okay. Well, so you don't need to borrow it from Avil.
nope.
Just
I'll
Yeah,
ask
that's
Razor
full
for it.
time.
Yes.
What was that?
Yeah.
Razor?
We also have a book about the demigod of Lutz, the magical properties of gemstones, the magical properties of herbs and flowers,
Oh,
and the metaphysics of mathematics.
I definitely want the magical properties of herbs and flowers. I will ask for that book.
We lost our most valuable book.
No, you didn't.
You actually have other stuff. See if I can get a full list here.
Okay. Oh, and if Avil's thinking about opening the apothecary, I'm gonna give him my recipe for making a potion of healing.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, you see him kind of turn that sheet of paper like upside down and sideways. Doesn't seem like you totally make heads or tails of it. Hang on 1 second.
Just look at him like a 7-year-old talking to him about Pokemon.
I got DM. You be good if I cut out right now? I got kind of an early day tomorrow, and I got some stuff to do tonight.
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna paste in contents of that book. But yeah, see you next week.
Cool. Yeah, good session, guys. Thanks for another session, DM. Always a blast.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Take care. Here we go. That. Ah, there it is. All right. Here is a full list of all the books taken from the mansion. Oops. That's not it. In trouble now. Doesn't want to get copied. I guess I'll have to do it this way.
All right, thanks everybody for hanging out. We're gonna call it here. Make sure to check out next week for more goings on of the SaltMarsh. Until next time, have a good one.